It's fine. No one needed to hear me say ta-da, but it did happen, I promise. Hello, 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 hello. It is a Monday and my hair part is fucked, so it does not look as good. Hey, you heard me, but you may be in the same house, so I think that's your special secret trick. You can hear me through the walls, which is only slightly unhinged to say, normally. Ah, yes, she can hear me through the walls. It's fine. She lives here. It's normal. It's pretty normal. The lore is... No, what? Hey, looking good? Yeah, I re-dyed it on Sunday. Just put more emerald in, which is pretty fucking good. I absolutely need to put... I need to buy another jar of it too, because I can't re-dye it to this particular powerfulness unless I get some more. The problem is, Loxy, you got it for me, right? So I'm gonna have to say, hey, do you have this? And they'll be like, keep that away from me. That has definitely got some dye on the outside. If you will touch this to me and it will absolutely get on me. And I'm like, yeah, alright, fair. I can't object to that because pretty powerful dye. Oh, the webcam can't pick it up. There's splotches, little bits over my shoulder. That wasn't an excuse to show off deltoids. I don't think that's what the deltoids are. But yeah. I can take it a lid, or I can take it a photo, or just say, hey, I'd like Manic Panic Emerald, and that's it. That's not nudity in the stream. People are allowed to be in hot tubs wearing... Then I'm definitely allowed to like stretch my shirt a little bit. It's a good thing it's old. This shirt is good too because it shows off the necklace really easily. I think that the pendant suits me really well. Hit up House Warehouse. Yeah, alright, that makes sense. Just go in and be like, hey, this, you know the one. The funny thing is, I could wander in and just be like, they'll go, are you out? I'll go. And the problem will be solved. I've also got a small amount to continue doing the rinses anyway. I've still got a lot of black. I just go all black. Be perfect. I won't miss this vibrant dark blue color at all. I will. Oh well. You know, there are also calls where I could just like shake it up and change it to something else, but I'm not really interested in that yet. This one's gonna feel old and boring first. We're gonna have some other tragedy. As a queer person, tragedies always mean I dye my hair, so. I don't know, look out, Emma. We'll have to buy, I don't know, Fire Engine Red. I guess purple. I could go purple, right? That would be a significant change. I don't think it would suit me at all. Red was like good too, but everyone does red? And not just that, but red also doesn't suit my temperament at all. I'm not exactly a fiery person. Trope-wise, green suits me much better. Too kind and friendly. Not orange. Alright. See, and I want to do an orange because then Emma would be disappointed. And I like her. I love saying things like that because not only is it true, it's really funny when people go, yeah, I sure hope you do. Deep bluish purple. Sure it is. I'd miss out on all the times you've looked over the last, well, ever since Sunday evening. You look over and be like, your hair's still really good right now. Like, if you didn't like it, I wouldn't get those. And I love those. You can hear clack a U-board. Ba ba ba. So, just a just a quick reminder. I'm not on this Wednesday night. I'll tell everyone again when we finish tonight as well. This Wednesday I'm taking off so I can go see Spider-Man No Way Home because it is going to be at an open air cinema. And while I'm avoiding enclosed spaces with more than one household worth of person at a time, I figure it's safe enough to go to an open air cinema and watch it with my mask on the whole time, and I really fucking want to watch that goddamn film. So it's going to be really great. Like, that will be awesome. But sadly, they're only showing it once on that Wednesday night, so I'm afraid you'll have to miss out. And I bring this up because it's a minor shame. When I was exhausted, and maybe a little sad, on Saturday, I bit up Final Fantasy IV and ground out the rarest item in the game so that I would get the last achievement. So essentially when I finish the game, I'll get all the achievements. And since it was grinding, it does mean that all the characters are at least level 72. I started a grinding session at like level 50. Whoops. And that's really funny, right? Because Final Fantasy III didn't have this kind of 100% completion achievements. Do this repetitive task over and over, like really grinding to get the top reward, the 100%, the everything. 1, 2, and 3 didn't have that. 2 barely had the get one weapon and one spell to level 16, and that was a bit of effort, but not too much. So this is a real change that it took me this long to go through it. But God, it was nice. Turn the music down to 0, put on an audiobook or a TV show. Watch Resident Alien, that was good. Alan Tudyk is cool. It just go over and over and over. Really gratifying. We'll talk about that later. Probably when we continue playing Final Fantasy IV. Next week. Next Wednesday. We'll finish it and it'll be like an hour. Max. I didn't pick up all the stuff. You know, maybe I'm justifying it because I don't want to forget. But I didn't pick up all the things. We'll get all the chests, we'll get all the sealed weaponry, we'll be excited about that together. Hey Corey, good to see you tonight, man. But then we'll finish the game, we'll kill the end boss, and we'll boot up Final Fantasy V, which I'm excited about, job system. And something else that's good, I finally finished using Pathfinder 2nd Ed and Hero Lab to make Pathfinder 2nd Ed characters of Trunt, Malone, Grumbo, and Hubert, our Warriors of Light. And like, that was cute. I enjoyed that. It's fun to make characters in role-playing systems that inspire you in some way. And I was inspired by these Warriors of Light, how we played them. Anyway, Pillars, huh? Let's actually talk about and play the game that we're here to play tonight, right? I perhaps feel a little bad that in Final Fantasy XIV you're also a Warrior of Light, and I'm not playing Trent, Hubert, Malone, or Grumbo. I know what to do. I will create some custom adventurers or retainers. We'll spend the additional... It'd be $8 a month to buy additional retainers and model them all after those 4. That would be excessive, but really funny. So maybe I should. I should also consider whether I want to like move Pillars of Eternity to my SSD so it loads faster. Wouldn't that be nice? Probably won't though. I can just kill a bit of time by talking about how everyone's day was. Work was real normal today. I had to miss like all of Friday afternoon. Oh, hey, Dead Man. Get 4 people to play through the campaign with me. Oh, jeez. The thing is, you can't... Like, Dead Man, good to see you tonight. I know a lot of the time you're lurking, so I'm glad you dropped in to the chat. Like, shout out to everyone who's lurking. It's fine. I'm glad you're with us. And also shout out to everyone in the VODs, too. You count. I hope I'm not too boring. Because you can't guide the conversation by spending your channel points on questions. Like, the campaign is like... The 11 or 14... It's just every duty in 14, like, a lot of them aren't shared in a way that would be useful. What we could do instead is like, hey, everyone do a bit of work outside before stream, and then we stream some dungeons. That could be fun. Duty. Emma. Duty. Okay, so Pillars is quite loud in my headphones, and that's not too bad, but I just wanted to make sure. Hey everyone, how's it for you?
Hey there. Hey there. Sure.
How are our friends?
Right here. Hey there. Right here. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
It's okay? Okay, and I'm coming through alright?
What do you need? Yeah?
Yeah? Perfect.
Hey. Yeah? Yes? Oh?
Yeah?
Yes?
Hello?
Oh.
Hi.
How may I help? Yes?
Hello, Elf.
Oh?
How you
How
doing?
may I help? Oh?
Attaboy.
How may I help?
Alright. Well, hey, Kelly. Nice to see you. You know what we'll do? We'll turn the effects volume down a little bit if we're concerned about combat, huh? We'll be okay. Voice down just a little bit. Sticky. I'm sorry, Dead Man. You were having some issues
Indeed.
last night.
Care for a fish or two, stranger? Today's catch, ripped straight from the hands of the salty wench.
The fishmonger lets out an accomplished sigh.
You'll find no fresher. Have a look.
Hell yeah, I'll get some fish. Unlimited cuttlefish. Get unlimited cuttlefish at Neketaka. I mean, it's pretty cheap. Maybe we should buy the hagfish instead. It's the same price and it's strictly worse. Well, thank you, Kelly. Good lord, that's so nice. You're doing really well. You are clearly the top of the list for that as well. So, I should bring up the fact that last week we spent a bit of time getting onto the open ocean, having a good time out there. I showed you what it's like and what the loops are, essentially. Like, we go into this direction, we do a bit of exploring and find some shore rips, and we name an island because there were no encampments there. A little bit colonialist, not too bad, I say. And we killed some Crookspur slavers. That was worth it. Absolutely fantastic. But something I've been getting a bunch of criticism for. We also attacked a merchant ship because they were the closest thing nearby when I wanted to show off what the ship combat was. And not only is everyone very disappointed in the ship combat being essentially a choose your own adventure dialogue scenario, which I don't hate. I know it could be better, but I don't hate it. A lot of people are like, it is unconscionable. It is horrible and weird, and it makes me feel strange. Slam Shadows and Adair and Aloth dared attack some random merchants. Amid the barrels and boxes, a crate stamped with the symbol of the Royal Defiant Company. And guess what? Jimbles had some big thinks about that. And it's about what we consider, honestly, it brings back the earlier point of, remember in Pillars 1 how we looked at some NPCs on the map?
Why is everything so expensive here?
Hi, Vela. Neglected dog, not on my watch. You gain an item, Levin. Ooh, okay. So Levin the dog increases intellect. Stinky Pete, Stinky Bobinky. Let's replace you with a dog for now. Levin. Party wide effect. Moves more quickly in combat. That's worth it. Not me, either which. So, a strong, musky animal smell clings to the straw bedding. It gives me the point of asking, when in the NPCs, there were NPCs on the map, and they were labeled just with the name Addict. And this was a signifier. The game was telling us essentially that this NPC is going to have no unique dialogue. They're not going to be considered interesting or special. And it felt weird. We were looking at it and going, yeah, but they're still a person. And it feels weird to treat them.
Must think I work for free.
It feels weird to treat them with such dismay and disrespect, and not use a lens to see them as an individual or someone that's got more interest to them. And that is interesting, worth examining. And I was like, yes, and we should keep keep track of that and think about how the default without extra effort is that when you're describing a city in a role-playing game is that your players will treat people, NPCs, like a single word that describes what they do and what they should expect. That word means something.
I bet my
Disdain,
tongue
exactly. Thank you,
kinda
Kelly.
hurts.
You're correct. Oh, sorry, Vela. We don't have a priest, though, so we can't heal you. But I do feel this way. And so, when I saw the merchant ship, I did the same thing.
Be with you in just a... Almost had it. Damn your eyes.
Sun-scarred dwarf gingerly picks at a splinter in his thumb, muttering. I did the same thing. I saw a merchant ship and I'm like, well, I'm going to treat them as a random merchant ship. It doesn't matter. And not only that, the game is not even going to recognize consequences for attacking this random merchant ship. Usually consequences are flagged by saying they're part of X faction and you'll lose respect with them for attacking them. But they were unaffiliated, so I'm like, doesn't matter. They're not people. I'm going to attack them to demonstrate something. What a weird scenario to go through. Slime Shadows is still listed as benevolent here in the Deadfire. I guess we had no survivors. And we swore the crew of the Defiant to absolute secrecy. Anyway, just think about it in-game and when you're creating NPCs, and when you're playing a game as well, be wary of that sort of impulse and reaction. And then work with other people to decide what you'd like it to be. Because it's entirely possible you do just want some random combat with things that won't make you feel bad. That is what you're going to this oftentimes combat-heavy role-playing game for. I told a brief story to Luxie about how I did this as well in a game where the GM was trying to flag that you could talk to these people, and I opened combat. Whoops. I feel like I actually destroyed the GM's enthusiasm for that game, and I apologize to that. I believe I've apologized for that in person, but maybe I should do it again. Anyway, let's talk to this dude and explore Neketaka, which is the city in Pillars of Eternity 2, and it's huge, and it's fascinating. I'm going to learn a lot of lore, and I'm going to do a lot of reading, and perhaps very little combat, so brace yourself, settle in, do some stretching now before the appropriate break, get yourself a drink, and sink into the world of Aaah, okay? Mwah.
Hazard of the work, really.
He gives up with a frustrated grunt, shaking his hand.
Came in on the sloop? I can hammer your ship together if you're apt to pay me for it.
Zemo bares his teeth and grinds them hard enough to sound over the noise of the dock. Having trouble with a client?
Aye. Captain Redora hasn't paid me for her commissioned firepower.
Zemo pulls at the end of his beard and winces.
While I'm up to my nose in debt, the wild mare gobbles up her coin. And now, pirates are holding my feet to the fire over some sham of a deal.
And Zemo winces and tugs harder on his beard in self-administered punishment.
If I don't get Redora's payment, I might as well start carving my swallow net.
Oh, what kind of deal are these pirates offering?
One where I mend Principe ships and no others.
Zemo pulls his hair back from his face with both hands, but only returns to his tangled configuration.
And here I'd have thought a shipwright would be eager for an exclusive contract. In particular, one with clients disposed towards getting their ships shot to shit and shot again.
Luxie, you've got a damn good point. We will also be murdering a fuckload of slavers. It's just that slavers by default are a much higher difficulty and I didn't think we could take them. And then they charged at us. I'm like, well, fuck it. Might as well try. And it turned out great. I think if we did a ship-to-ship combat, it would have wrecked the Defiant. So that's why we boarded immediately.
Folk like that come by coin easy, only to lose it all again. I'm not sinking my business on the say-so of a pack of puffed-up bilge rats.
It's also that ship-to-ship combat is not particularly interesting for the stream, so we probably won't be doing a lot of it anyway. We'll make a slight diversion to kill a slaver when we see one, but if there are any hunters, like ship hunters for slavers, I'll be doing that myself, perhaps off camera.
Bastards are driving away business until I give in.
I believe I can record using Streamlabs. And bonuses for YouTube. Someone bought Radara's commission. Would that solve your money problems?
Aye, but only once she fesses up that she doesn't have the coin.
Sifting through among his beard, Samar finds a black hair and plucks it out.
Call me a fool for holding out hope. She's an old client and a friend.
Why haven't you settled your differences already?
Because I've got a backlog of work through the next turning of the wheel.
Yeah.
And I'm old, damn it. These hips won't carry me to the mare and back without a fight.
That's fair. If it gets me a discount on your labor, I could hunt down Radara.
You do that? A fair price goes without saying, Cully.
Zamara untangles his hand from his beard to link his thumb and forefinger with a wink.
It all comes down to blasted pans and pyres in the end, doesn't it?
Zamar spits towards the dock pilings and glances back at the work still to be done. Common base currency in the Deerwood, the common base currency of the Valian Republic, heavily used in Deadfire. I'd like to see your goods.
Take a look.
What you got? What's that? You can buy a new ship. Absolutely, you fucking can. Some of them have larger crews, some of them move faster. Some of them, junk being the greatest, love some good junk, have a fuckload of health. Look at that hull health of 90 compared to 60. An extra third. And a whole bunch of different guns. Including... and sails. I love the Vithrax sail silk. That's so good. Captain's quarters. Now, here are the things like I'll spend money on for essentially no reason. Upgrades the cabins of the captain to be more luxurious. Menagerie. A pen created to house all the extra pets that can't be taken on adventures. Well, I think clearly... I believe these travel, you don't equip them to your ship, it's just, if you have them, you have them. So let's just buy them now. You know, I think that's fun. Helm and rudder made out of lurker. Super good. We should get more. No, let's not buy as much medicine as we need. I know, that was a lot of money. Spend 6,000 for essentially no reason? Yeah, of course. Of course I will. So we could have bought a better ship, but maybe we won't be able to afford it now. But I don't want to. I want to upgrade. And you'll notice they should have, pretty sure, just disappeared automatically. Yeah. Because they've gone onto the ship. Next time we go to the ship, we'll have a menagerie to put all the pets in. Now that's pretty important. We love pets here. And I also wanted to upgrade the captain's quarters because, I don't know.
Island folk tend to prefer lighter clothes, maybe something warmer for the high seas. Take your time. I'll give you space to browse.
I love the idea of buying better, like, living quarters and situations for characters. Because, why not? It's once again part of the fantasy. If we have the ability to create a better or more interesting or more comfortable life for people, even if they are fictional people, it just feels like it's worth doing for me.
Gone shepherds us all, traveler. Seek out his temple along the sacred stair.
Oh, we will.
Thy path shall be made clear.
Oh, we will, don't
The
worry.
Hazanui is at the palace, blaming the Valians for attacking one of their ports.
Well, did they?
Of course not. But the Queen must calm them down before they go to war over it.
Good. Good way to demonstrate rumors in your city. And that makes the world feel alive, and it's absolutely worth doing. Who the heck is Gorn? Gorn is a divinity. It is an aspect of Aethys, particularly known as the Reaper. In a good way.
Well met, stranger. Akira, but isn't this district a fine place?
The Huana woman stares off into the distance with a longing expression. Well, let's use our perception, our insight of one, to see what she's looking at. She doesn't settle on any point of particular interest. Everything from the high buildings to the cobblestones is a subject of fascination. She notices your attention and turns her eyes to the ground.
I am not one meant to venture far from the gullet. Until recently, I had a respectable job at the Luminous bathhouse.
The fire people guy? Yes. The Dawn Stars are definitely involved with Gorn. The Gullet, colloquially called the Gullet, the slums of Neketaka are home to both the Roporu cast of the city's Huana as well as the myriad colourful and unsavoury figures. Built in a great chasm at the heart of Neketaka, it is where much of the city's refuse, literal and figurative, comes to rest. That's important.
Now that I am unemployed, I seek to make myself useful before the money runs out. and I must return to the Roparu as a pauper.
She frowns and turns her gaze back to you. Back up to you. Roparu. As the lowest class of Huana society, the Roparu are designated to work as unskilled laborers and to starve in times of scarcity. Their status is a function of survival in the often unforgiving deadfire and not moral judgment. The Roparu are destined to be reborn into the Kuau or the Mataru class in their next lives. Now that's interesting. A sub-anniversary, thank you, wife. My wife supports my hobbies, isn't that nice? You worked at the Luminous bathhouse?
A wonderful place. Would that I could cross its threshold again and feel the mist of luminous waters.
Your smile is sad, if genuine.
In spite of my time there, I cannot do else but give it my highest recommendation. You will find the Luminous bathhouse in Periki's Overlook.
How did you lose your job at the bathhouse?
More happens at the bathhouse than cleanliness and ease. It is a place of meetings, business, and transactions, to all of which the attendants are either blind or deaf. One day, I overheard more than I ought to have. In my erring, I gasped. To my great shame, I showed a most unprofessional reaction before clients. I was fired, and rightly so.
She bows her head. What did you ever hear in the bathhouse to cause such a scandal? Akema shakes her head and lowers it in deepest shame. She's trembling, and it's clear that, in her estimate, she's suffered enough without debasing herself even further. Could you direct me to the Kahanga Palace?
Akira, you want to follow the road north, up the mountain, always climbing. It is the highest point in the city.
Tell me about the Queen's birth.
The Queen granted this area of the city to the Valian outsiders. Here they organized their business and trade, digging up the archipelago with both hands and carrying riches overseas.
She glances toward the docks.
In her welcoming embrace, the Queen allowed a similar concession to the Royal Deadfire Company. You would do well to see as much of Neketaka while you are here, I am thinking.
Farewell. Okay. What does this look like then? Well, the Wild Mare's here. Peddler's Canal, the road south. There's a cobbler. The Valian Trading Company headquarters, as well as the Luminous Adra Mill, Map Emporium, Valera Estate, Back Alley. The Bardato Estate? Okay, interesting. The Valian Trading Company. Now, the Valian Trading Company was where our previous good friend, perhaps not a good friend right now, Palagini used to work.
Merla, how is every ship taken?
So let's take it.
I'm learning a lot.
No sooner do you approach the Valian woman than she squints and turns up her nose, regarding you with thinly veiled distaste.
I only deal with serious clients. Now shoot.
She makes a sweeping gesture with both hands. What sort of business are you in?
Not the business of answering questions, Nazenale.
The Valian term for a nosy person.
Madiko. But it is impossible to find skilled work when every competent freelancer wastes their shore leave in the Wild Mare.
She grimaces toward the east.
When blood travels south of their brains, the value of a good bounty is forgotten.
You give out bounties? I could take some off your hands.
You, a nameless face of the streets?
She thumbs her chin and gives you a thorough looking over.
I do not make a habit of shepherding new talent, but there is a seed of potential.
She sighs to herself and peers over your shoulder before giving up and addressing you directly.
We will cut your teeth on Biakara, a Huana sailor and would-be patriot who plagues company ships.
I'll take on the bounty.
Gelarde. Biakara sails a voyager's scale of Tangaloa off of Hazongo's northeastern coast.
Anna studies you once more before shrugging and seeing you off with a wave. Farewell. I don't want to interrogate her for everything. But hey, getting a quick bounty will be good for us. Oh look, sewers. I bet we can go in there soon.
We can summon the guards if you want to be difficult, Aimiko. Kindly leave.
If Luca doesn't see reason, the Duape will lose their lands. For their sake, I must...
Hey. Young Huana wears a disconcerted frown. He meets your approach with a flicker of a welcoming smile, but it dies down quickly.
Please, I must ask a favor.
He shies back from making eye contact, keeping his head lowered.
What say? Do you have business with the Valiant Trading Company?
What seems to be the problem?
My people are the Duape. We signed a contract with the company.
Talwinu looks toward the headquarters with a despondent frown. Please excuse the dog barking in the background. She's probably just very excited about the neighbors coming home.
We were not understanding the terms at the time. I wish to, what say, renegotiate. But the clerks turned me away.
Tell me more about this contract.
My father, the Runga, took payment from the company. In exchange, they dig for Aaah.
He speaks with more confidence, as if these words were rehearsed several times over.
He did not understand the Valiant way. When he dies, the Outlanders will claim our island for themselves. Father has fallen ill, and the clerk, Luca, stands by the agreement as surely as if it was stamped in his skin.
Insight? I'm guessing the company didn't like someone challenging their unfair deal.
Akira. When the Valiant clerk learned I was from the Duape, he became very anxious. I made my appeals to Luca, but my words were as stones dropped down the deepest well. While I am barred from the company office, I can do nothing for my people.
So, Talwinu worries one of the many tassels adorning his garb. So, here in Pillars, the writers and creators of the game needed to struggle with something that happened in the real world, and was an awful thing that just kept happening, right? This was a tactic used by the East India Trading Company among other European powers, i.e. force terms often in a language people don't understand, that are completely unfair and pretty shitty, and then insist that they are fair and refuse to change them. That's fucked up, and it's bad, and it has ramifications that live through to these days. There's outcomes to this quest that involve perpetuating this kind of colonialist violence that I will not be taking, and won't even make it available to the chat because I'm not comfortable doing it. But I am impressed at the bravery of the developers and writers, in that they spoke and paid, definitely paid sensitivity consultants and took their advice to make it not too shitty. And I'm also impressed at their bravery that they wanted to depict this kind of colonial violence and not just pretend that it didn't happen. The Valiant Trading Company do this. Slime Shadows is a good person, or at least tries to. We're not going to pretend to be a lawyer and steal his money. But let's do this quest and see what they have to say for themselves, huh? Let's get ourselves a little bit of justice. Why did they kick you out of their office?
I showed Luca a new contract, yes? Fairer, more agreeable terms.
That's all?
Luca called me a criminal and summoned his guards.
Talwinu lets his arms hang down by his sides. What did you mean by a new contract?
A man in the gullet offered to assist me. He carried papers, ink, and wax.
Fuck.
He helped to write a new contract in the Valiant way and to fix the correct seals.
This possibly couldn't be good.
Luca, I say he did not like this. He took my contract and forced me into the streets.
Talwinu gestures to the spot on which he stands. I'm pretty sure you were given a forgery.
I do not know this word. I would fix, but Luca will not give me the chance. Negotiating with outsiders has not gone my way.
Talwinu scratches the back of his head, frowning. Mind if I take a look at the new contract?
Luca has it secured in a chest. Tangaloa's jaws such trouble for parchment, I say.
I'll meet with this Luca. Maybe we can arrive at more agreeable terms.
Akira, my thanks. I will remain here by day until justice is done.
Worst of his concerns are quickly overshadowed by a broad smile. Also, definitely don't steal his money after someone's already tried it. Yeah, right? That forger likely asked to have payment for their services. This is potentially also how you continue having taxes on the poor. You set up a system or infrastructure that doesn't help them in any way, and then
keeping an eye out,
and then make the process of getting out of that system impossible.
It's still going on, is it?
Or difficult.
When will those arrogant louts decide that enough is enough?
Well, looky here. Oh, look at that. Total mechanics 9. The difficulty is 11. We won't actually be able to break open this chest.
Hey there, leave it to me.
Do you think maybe we have an item or something that could help? What do you think? White leaf? Nope. It's a drug. I do like drugs, but I don't think it'll help. History, insight, metaphysics, religion. Well, blessed incense may help. Alchemy, arcana, explosives. No. Perception, resolve, intellect? Not quite. Diplomacy, intimidate, streetwise. Well, that might be useful later. Combat only. Con, might, dex. That's combat. Definitely combat. Definitely combat. Mechanics, sleight of hands, stealth. So. Take a quick save. Slam's out of the line of sight. Slam can have some thief's putty. And now we can do it. It'll cost 1 lockpick.
There. What did I tell you?
Still stealth, steal from the hidden cache. Oh!
Yeah.
Thought the contract would be in there, everyone. Well shit, we better hurry the fuck up. I'm gonna use another thieves putty. You've become addicted to thieves putty.
Keep it down.
There's literally no one in here, let's just go. Just steal from the chest. Every leaf of parchment is coated in dense jargon. No lockpicks required. Forged contract! Fantastic. This contract covers an agreement between the Valian Trading Company and the chief of the neighbouring Duape tribe. It stipulates that while the Valians have been granted access to some mineral deposits, the Duape will retain all rights to their land until the death of the representative. Attached to the paper is an amendment, however, altering the terms to extend those rights to Duape indefinitely. The seal upon it doesn't seem quite as crisp as that of the original document. That's interesting.
What did I
So, that's particularly interesting because, like, it looks like
I got this.
all he did was change the contract. It doesn't specifically say that the forger did it incorrectly. It's just that he didn't understand that the new terms can't be altered on... can't just be altered on the contract to say, no, this is what we want it to look like. Which is funny because you could do that. Nothing in here to steal. Numerous guests appear to have carved their names into the wooden frame of this painting. The lighting in here makes for a flattering reflection. Take another quick save. We're doing a lot of them because I want to use... yeah, effective alien seal, but the forger also didn't, like, change it to say something like, and the Valian Trading Company has to give me, the forger, and the Duape 1,000 pyres every day. Because that could be terrible. That would be worse. Well, we're not getting in there. Look at all these guards.
Consider it done.
Okay, well, we're probably not stealing anything from there either. Thieves, buddy, how much longer? None! It's all gone. There's no reason to be in here.
You, what are you doing here?
Oh, business took longer than expected. I'll be leaving now.
Then permit me to escort you safely outside. The Night's Watch, they deal roughly with intruders.
End dialogue. I don't actually know what happened there. I think it's entirely possible we just were inside while time passed. So, kind of funny that we failed the speedrun strat.
Right. He does do that with his hands.
Fine, 'tis roughing his precious spelling book that scares the lad. Or maybe 'tis notching his wee finger.
You gotta stop. My sides hurt. Oh, I miss this.
Surely you've spied how he's always brushing himself. Won't say, but he's afeard of seagull shit.
Oh, that's so good! Isilmir. Adir loves Isilmir. That's fantastic. Okay.
I don't have a voice for shanties these days. Too much salt in the air.
Not even my Vithrak.
A tiny minute falsetto per complanca net.
We'll return to the Valiant Trading Company when it's daylight. I love that it gives you an option to just be like, ah, fuck it, and stab everyone. Hey, sorry. Business hours have closed. Could you leave this subway? We just want to close up. Don't have any time to make any more sandwiches.
You, Captain. I just know it is all.
You'll pay for you with your life.
I'll take a peek.
See, a lot of these people don't have names when I tab them, but it does tell you. Yeah. Luca, huh? We wanted to
enjoy a coin, my friend? Can you lift a sword?
We wanted to talk to you, Luca.
My one solace from the tedious bureaucracy.
Alright, we can't do business out here, huh?
Hello, my friend. I knew our paths would cross eventually.
Valiant shouts over the din of the wild mare to get your attention, turning a great many heads to study your exchange. He takes a hearty swig of his tankard. But you say that to all of your clients.
Que? No, you mistake me. I am not one of the courtesans.
What?
Tell me, you are the one who sails that fine ship, Aaah? Terrorize the docks with spirits, Aaah?
Okay, so why does it say that fine ship instead of the Defiant? Ah, well, my friends, we can rename the ship. And we will. Tonight. Leaning in close, he sips from the tankard and loudly sucks moisture from his upper lip. Slam Shadows, captain of the Defiant, at your service.
I am Aboko, and I am positioned to offer... I have opportunities for...
He clumsily unfolds a sheaf of parchment. The tankard slips in his grasp and spills ale down the front of his trousers. He gawks down at himself in horror.
1,000 times I practiced my speech. Merda. Never did it go this poorly.
Give him an ale. Here, you need this more than I do.
Agrasima. Do you know what my problem is, amigo?
He accepts a tankard and drinks deeply.
I am supposed to be in the business of giving bounties, but I know no one who hunts them.
He stamps his feet, kicking up a spray of spilled ale.
No one will unfurl their sail for my humble payments. But I must start from the bottom and work my way to the top, Aaah?
You'll get there someday.
Agrasima, my friend. If you are ever lacking in drinking money, you know where to look.
He slides down at the mess of his trousers. We've been there, buddy. You seem down on your luck.
It is true that I have stumbled in my career path.
Aboko clears his throat.
Now that I have such an accomplished hunter, I can stand in the long shadow of your success.
We never agreed to be your hunter. He claps you on the shoulder.
It's not all bad, but the momentum of meeting new clients over drinks and in such enchanting company, it drains the stamina, my friend.
Hip thrusts increase weight, decrease number of reps. Alternate out to increase number of reps and decrease weight. Go for see stamina training and weight training as different exercises. That'll get your stamina back up, okay? At least in the area we're talking about. After that, you need to train with both your hand and other partners. Wait, what are we talking about? What banners do you have available?
You will take the job? You will take the job.
He grips you by the shoulders and smiles, tears springing to the corners of his eyes.
Agrasima. Something special for my first hunter, then.
He drains the tankard and tucks it under his arm to retrieve his sheaf of notes.
I will start you on Mariel, the mad animancer. She tortures her victims with unspeakable treatments before casting what's left to Berath's wheel.
We've already killed her.
My contact saw her leaving Port Maje and heading west of Maje Island.
Give Meryl's head. She joins the goddess of death and the beyond.
My first bounty to pay off. Wow. An exciting day for us both.
Aboko passes you a small patch of coins. 1,400 copper.
Maybe it's not much, but as I make more deals, more pyres will be available, Aaah?
What bounties do you have available?
I finally managed to land the rights to a bounty of value. You may not like it. There is a thirsty drake who roosts near an oasis northeast of Maje Island. An important site for refilling canteens.
Oh, I see.
The local tribes call him Purakeo, after a sea dragon of legend. Even so, they have no love for this water thief.
I'll return with his head. Farewell.
Agrasima, you have but to ask.
Accidentally hit the wrong button? Chucky! Nice to see you tonight. I have a suspicion as to who you are, but I'm not quite certain. And if so, welcome. It's really good to hear from you. Captain Rador. Hey, you owe some dude money.
You say I cannot down the rest? Watch me, Amico.
A valiant soldier raises her tankard and arches her back to invite a torrent of ale down her expectant mouth. It absolutely does, Chucky. It absolutely does. Holding this pose with nothing to show for it, she taps the tankard's base and furrows her brow at its apparent emptiness. The companion shakes his head and focuses his attention elsewhere.
Madico, it is no wonder I thirst.
As she wipes her mouth with the back of her hand, her eyes widen and meet yours.
Ado, why do you stare?
Give 12 copper. Your next grog is on me.
Grassima. Even in the oasis I am parched.
She pockets the coins and glances past you to the bar.
If you grant wishes, there is a vacancy on my ship.
Rador's frown cracks to reveal a shy smile.
Yet another reminder that not every seaworthy vessel will be crewed up to the standards of the sorcerer.
He shakes his head. As the captain of the Defiant, I'm already taken.
Sientere, frero.
Radora inclines her head.
Next time around the wheel, perhaps.
You don't seem to be having so much fun as the rest of the clientele.
The fun ran dry with the coin.
She manages a wan smile.
When the dancers see more than an empty purse, I will be a content Rador.
She sighs up at the stage. Zamar sent me to collect your debt.
Merla, and he hired muscle.
Radora takes a shaky step back.
Sientere, but you are too late to collect.
She holds out her palms and flinches at the blow that doesn't come.
A gang in the northern alley stole every coin. I cannot hire a crew, much less repay Zamar.
Radora slowly lowers her trembling hands. Why don't you tell me what happened?
Wizard lights drew me like a moth to the alley north of the wild mare.
Her eyes turn downcast.
And the blow to the back of the head that followed, Merla, it hurt.
She touches the spot behind her ear and hisses. Once again, we're taking a really good opportunity to not only flesh out the world, but make your incidental side quest more interesting. I honestly think a lot of the time, if you're going to have a side quest in a tabletop game, you want to do at least one twist. A lot of the time, right? Because otherwise it's going to end up too straightforward, right? Even if the twist is at the end, the NPC who gave you the quest or someone you meet along the way will tell you more of a story. There's something more to the hook. It's something for the players to sink their teeth into and remember more than just a checklist of did X task at Y time.
Then a wolf sat on my chest while a group of thugs went through my pockets.
A wolf?
It growled like a thunderstorm and drooled on my uniform.
Radora pats a stain on her shoulder.
I stumbled back here and traded all I had left for the comforts of the mare.
So let's use our streetwise skill. As always, use your skills. Zamar is having some pirate trouble. Could this gang be connected?
If they wanted Zamar to thirst for coin, it is possible.
The twist, baby!
Botzos will regret it when I turn my cannons to their mast.
Radora raises her empty mug as the vow is struck.
Those the cannons you'll be waiting for Zamar to cast you. Because I'd be seeing more holes in that plan than in any Principe mast's future or no.
Seraphine's green eyes pry at her from over crossed arms. Sounds like my quarrels with this gang. Farewell.
When you got their leader, tell them Radora sent you.
She raises her mug and winks. There we go. No reason to steal from dancers. We always respect the working class.
Where in the blazes is that old man?
That's not technically stealing. Which is true. You can walk into restaurants and bars, and if there are drinks on the table that people don't want, if they've just left them there, you can just have them. They're free. Like the bottom inch or so, or whatever, at the bottom of everyone's glass, that's yours if you want it. You're welcome to it. If you're, like, feeling squickish, right, just bring your own glass and toss them all into that glass first, and then it's your drink. It's like having a drinking game with yourself. That's also not stealing. Let's just reach through between the cushions and get ourselves a Huana charm belt. Extra stride and survival. Interesting.
What do you need?
Well, what are you wearing? No belt slot? No, perfect. We'll re-equip you with something cool. Enjoy your additional survival skill. And move faster in combat. Now, as our rogue fighter, he's gonna fucking need it. Life hack. BYO King's up. Yeah, exactly.
What do you need?
If only I was cool enough to actually play drinking games in high school.
See something you like?
It's fine. I'm making up for it with very lost time now. Yes, Ymir. The dancer turns to greet you, a coy smile tugging at his lips. He's short for an elf, but no less graceful for his lacking height. His long face and dark eyes lend him a solemn air, but any hint of gloom is chased away by the watch of colour in his cheeks.
Aaah! This is the last place I expected to see you. Have your interests changed so much since our time at Bragon Hill?
Well, this is interesting. A grin lights up Ymir's face. He fidgets with his hair self-consciously, smoothing it down where it's been mussed. Yeah, I understand.
No, I still enjoy tile puzzles and deflecting personal questions. Anyway, what are you doing here?
He looks away as though he's trying to ignore Ymir's eager gaze. Adair likes it, Seraphim likes it as well. Both of them are light-hearted, so they enjoy this joke he made. You're welcome, Emma.
I could ask the same of you.
He laughs lightly, a hand over his mouth.
I make my own hours, meet fascinating people, and the coin's nothing to sneer at. Better than stuffy old books and unflattering robes.
He casts a critical eye over Aloth's outfit. He opens his mouth to speak, but decides better of it. This is amazing.
It's good to see you again, Aloth. Anyway, I should get back to it. Be well.
He smiles warmly at Aloth, a blush colouring the tips of his ears. Adair seems pleased. Seraphim strokes his braided beard beneath a quiet smirk. Everyone likes that.
It was lovely seeing you.
He catches himself looking panicked.
Perhaps lovely is too strong a word. I meant pleasant. Perfectly agreeable.
He looks at you, chagrined.
I can see where I may have confused the poor fellow in our academy days.
Aloth, you massive fucking tease.
'Twas a right fierce labour getting the lad to finger any flesh that weren't covering his spelly books.
Isilmir growls.
Did you enjoy the show? There's more to see, if you're interested.
Just going to mouse over Isilmir to give everyone a reminder, just in case they haven't been joining us. Isilmir is the past iteration of Aloth Corvus's soul. Isilmir was a brash, hill-speaking elven woman who lived in Aaah long ago. She awakened in Aloth's soul after his father attacked him and frequently got him into trouble with her cheeky comments and aggressive behaviour. Tell me about yourself.
I suppose.
He looks at you with a newly critical eye.
I was raised in the Aaah Empire. When I was young, I studied to be an arcane knight. After an incident at my school, I left the continent and wandered until I found myself in Neketaka. As you can see, I stayed.
What sort of incident?
A handful of my fellow students got up to a bit of mischief that ended with several people dead.
His gaze lingers on the floor, the cushions, the table, anywhere but your face. After a moment, he shrugs, offering no further explanation. Let me ask you about something else.
Did you enjoy the show? There's more to see, if you're interested.
How much for your time?
The money-minded type. I've always found fiscal responsibility very attractive.
Me too, buddy.
My time will cost you 150 copper, friend.
He gives you with a coy little smile and a raised eyebrow. Ymir, I'd love to. I will take advantage of your time, yes please. I will also recognize, remember in Pillars 1 how we did a victory lap of the entire brothel? I intend to do that again. I don't think we can spare all the copper to see everyone tonight, but we will in fact say hello to Ymir, old friend of Aloth's, if only to see him blush.
Follow me then.
He gives you a quick smile and then takes your hand, leading you away.
I wouldn't mind seeing you again, so long as you come with coin.
Wouldn't mind. I mean, you are playing coy at that one, but I've received higher praise in the past.
Don't see why not.
Let's loot everything then. So who do we have here? Ananias? A young woman reclines on the cushions, a hookah hose held delicately in one hand, eyes closed, she sings to herself. Her voice is soft and inviting. She doesn't move when she hears you approach, but slowly opens her eyes with a lazy smile.
Come, lay your head on my breast. I will read to you the work of my favorite poet, Skilba.
Tell me about yourself.
It's futile to attempt to summarize the whole of a person in simple words. How to capture their dreams, the desires of another, their feel and taste.
I'm lost. In a good way. I'm also perhaps vaguely discomforted, not discomforted, but disappointed that Neketaka, being the showcase city, has so much voice acting, right? I would have loved to put on a fake, different, beautiful voice for each of these courtesans. Oh well.
But I appreciate your curiosity nonetheless. I am an actor. Trained from childhood. Difficult for you to believe, I'm sure.
A teasing smile pulls at the corner of her lips. Her voice is wistful, almost melancholic.
My troop were my family, and we traveled the whole of the Aaah Empire, performing the classic literatures to cheering audiences.
Well, I don't want to hit number 2. That's fucking awful. So instead we'll say, it sounds a pleasant life.
The work was good when the crowds were grateful, and their pockets swelled with coin.
She gives you a pained smile and looks away. Worldly, Seraphin snickers quietly. Well, he's in a good mood.
I found a more dependable application of my talents here. To touch the hearts of others with my voice. I could not give that up.
Ah, Jimbles, do you like this character? Good lord. How can you tell? You did also write a bard subclass for 5th Ed called Courtesan to do exactly this. Have an actor and actress to have people improve the lives of others through sensual services and art. Art of the hand and the voice, of course.
Have you come to hear some verse?
Another time, Menelaus.
Farewell.
Ahoy, Captain. If I could bend your ear a moment, I'll be aiming to thank you for bringing me aboard.
So, remember earlier how we had a brief conversation with Aloth and Aaah as they both had their "you have reached friend 1" or enemy, or not enemy, but like disappointed 1 with you? Let's actually make, there you go. That's better. You know what? One of them should be upside down. This is Seraphin essentially having the same, hey, I like you, man. Good things keep happening around you. Beat up slavers. A third hand at his belly and one heel out. He bows deeply, drooping ear almost touching the ground.
You run a tight shop, and you ain't no terrible person either. It'd be a welcome change from the gentleman of leisure.
I'm glad you're with me.
I've a gift for you. This trinket be from one of the first ships I hunted. Malnage would have snatched it had I not found the perfect hiding spot.
Gollum King! Hilarious, good to see you tonight, and how dare you? Disappointment 1. Thank you for bringing me to... So, I'll be aiming to thank you for bringing me to this brothel. Yeah. Thank you for the gift, Seraphin.
You be entirely welcome. Now, if you'll pardon me, I've roundabout reached my limit for sentiment.
Seraphin salutes, grinning broadly, and turns away. Been granted an item. Cypher Shackle. Resistance to dexterity afflictions, +1 con. Well, that's pretty good. Shackle. Interesting. And it's a neck piece. Well, we are a cipher. What are we currently wearing in a neck? 1 bluff and diplomacy. I'm sorry, we have stolen the mayoral medallion from Aaah, and we're going to keep it. But you're only wearing 15 max health. How about you put it on, buddy? You're a barbarian. You need the constitution as well. Hilarious.
Aye, I'll give her a bad rap.
Neck piece. Well, the shackles. To be honest, I should be on the wrists, and you know it. Rabiuna? A fire godlike woman polishes a pair of stocks, tending to them with the fondness of a mother of a favourite child. The room is dim, illuminated by only the glow of her steel-forged skin. Her eyes burn with the light of Magrin's fire. When she hears you enter, she shoots you a look of utter contempt.
I will give you an experience you won't soon forget.
Tell me about yourself.
I must assume the question beneath your question is how a fire godlike came to find herself in a place such as this.
No. She leans back against the wall of chains. They clank and rattle, and she smiles at the sound.
Perseverance. Being as I am, I have been forced to find it for myself. Now I teach it to others. To live in a world as a thinking, feeling creature, it is difficult. It demands strength.
You may recognize his voice actor. It is Marisha Ray.
But we cannot always be strong. I help those who have lost their strength to find it again.
She wraps a chain around her arm and tugs. The steel links grow red with the forged fire where they touch her skin. How much for your time?
300 copper.
I know it's a bit more than most, but my service is like nothing you will find anywhere else in Neketaka.
Never mind. Another time. I imagine Slime Shadows will have an excellent time with the clearly dom top lesbian. 10 out of 10 character design, never change.
Watch and learn.
Konstantin! You are why I walked into this place. A burly dwarven man hums a jaunty tune to himself as he fastidiously organizes his collection of scented oils. When he hears you enter the room, he greets you with a smile and a humongous outstretched hand. His grip is strong and sure.
Come to seek ablutions for your sins?
He slaps his knee with a bark of laughter.
Get it? Ablutions? Absolution? Ha! I crack myself up. Gets me every time.
He wipes a tear from his eye, still chuckling.
Massage? Bath? Whatever you need. Just ask.
How did you end up here?
Oh, you don't want to hear about that. I lived a boring life, so there wouldn't be much to the telling.
He crosses his thick arms over his chest. A slight blush spreads across his cheeks. Indulge me.
Truth be told, my real passion is pottery. Trouble is, I got these big hands. Not meant for delicate work.
He turns his hands palm up for you to inspect. Just one is easily large enough to cover your entire face. I think that means he has cancer.
Worked out in the end, of course. Now I specialize in relieving tension in Aaah and death godlike.
He nods to himself. Do you like your work?
The pay's good and my clients are interesting enough.
He shrugs non-committally. Not exactly a ringing endorsement.
You caught me there.
He gives you an awkward chuckle and scratches at his beard.
The stability's good and all, but I haven't seen anything that gets my blood pumping in ages. You know what I mean?
What's life without a little excitement?
Doing the same old thing day in, day out. It's enough to make a man leap from the nearest window.
He nods vigorously. You could come with me.
Where to?
He raises an inquisitive brow. His large hands, previously dancing with restless energy, still. You know that 700-foot tall statue made of Adra? I'm going after it.
No kidding.
He nearly drops a bottle of massage oil in his excitement.
I like to see something like that for myself.
He sighs, a wistful edge in his voice.
Do you think I could come with you?
Recruit?
Just for a bit.
Recruit Konstantin. Grab your things then and let's go.
Hell, you don't have to tell me twice.
Okay. Alright. So here I introduced another concept, and it came from their FIG, which is essentially a Kickstarter campaign. Konstantin is not a full companion. He is a sidekick. There's a tutorial that explains everything. I'll do it more interestingly, I promise. Spoiler for Ricky. Can't wait till he appears. He's voiced by Sam Riegel. Anyway, they started as unique NPCs integral to a few quests or something, and complete with their own personalities and looks, and they can join you afterwards or beforehand. Here, they have custom portrait and voice sound set. They do not have their own quest. And they won't participate in the companion relationship system. That's it, right? That's a minor shame. But this is an excellent compromise. Large-scale companion quests and a lot of voice acting, and the relationship system and all the associated dialogues and voice acting there as well, take up a lot of space, and they cost a fuckload of money to do. Voice acting is hard. I have a good microphone and a voice that can talk for hours because I like hearing myself talk, and even then I wouldn't sign up to being a character in a video game just yet. If only because I need to wear a blanket for hours at a time and it'd overheat. So, here we have a halfway point, a compromise, where we get to have an interesting NPC in some way or another, but they're not going to do everything all the others. Some other games do this anyway. They just don't tell you what it is. They have more integral, more important NPCs, and they don't strictly explain to you that they're not going to have, that they have a second tier of people. NPCs, not really people, right? That aren't going to be as important. And if you bring them along to every quest, they're not going to have as many responses or interactions, and perhaps you shouldn't, right? If you want to wring the most out of a single playthrough, it's a bit bad. I think this is an interesting approach to something to signpost as well, to enable like two-way consent and communication with your role-playing group. Well, we're back to the tabletop games, because that's what we do here. It's good to signpost these sort of things. because Boblin the Goblin, being a running joke in several role-playing groups and the community at large, where your players will lean onto something that's interesting and attractive on the outset but has no greater attachment to the greater world, is often solved by saying, okay, so then dynamically add those people into large events so that you're going where the player's interest is. Good. That's good. Like that as well. Good solution. Very nice. But there's also the ability to say, this person's going to have an interesting portrait. They're going to have a single quest. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I've got for them, okay? And there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't have... that you're barking up the wrong tree here. You're not doing anything wrong. But you're going to hit, essentially, signposts on the side of Mount Hyjal that say Blizzard under construction. Also, everyone, we voted for what class we make our large NPCs, our starring companions, people who are joining us. In this circumstance, I'm going to click Barbarian because Slam Shadows is a chanter. Actually, no, that sounds terrible. Let's not take that decision out of your hands. We probably won't use Constantin all the time because he's cool, but we don't need him all the time. We probably won't have him all the time, unless, you know, by request we want him to stick around, so maybe we will. In the meantime, I will say, hey everyone, please make a vote in chat. We'll give it a minute or so. Chanter, Barbarian, or Howler? Howler is Chanter and Barbarian. As Larksy has just proven, you can in fact vote for one or two options. But it is easy for me to count if you just choose one. Take a look through a chanter you've seen before because Slam Shadows is. He already starts with a rank 3 chanter if he is solely a chanter. As Rennie Darrett's ghosts speak, I'll catch you, Ben Fidel. He still starts with two-handed style even if he's just a chanter, so he'll end up using a large weapon anyway. Seems a little redundant to have a full chanter? Yeah, that makes sense. Howler for Kelly, Barbarian or Howler for Larksy. And Corey says Barbarian. Yeah, pretty good. A couple of votes for Barbarian. I do like that. No, I don't have a plugin that counts the votes for me. That's too difficult. The fox from the farmer did run and leap. Dead man, how could you? You hilarious bastard. You said, yeah, you did send me the plugin. I didn't set it up. Me not having isn't because they don't exist or I don't know what they are. It's that I have a regular job. I think 3 will have to count as Howler, right? Needs concentration. Ridiculous. 3, I assumed, was Deadman walking away. Like... But at this point, since we've already said, hey, come aboard, we actually need to make the decision. We can't not. We're currently 2 each otherwise. You know, I get a tiebreaker, don't I? Ah, yes, I am absolutely qualified to have that argument, Golden King. Wait. Which makes me the speaker, too, and that's hilariously appropriate given I'm the one with the microphone. Better I be able to have tiebreak power instead of I have an additional vote. That would never made much sense to me. I guess that's usually demonstrated as 1.5. That makes more sense. Except if you could proxy out your half vote to another person. Yeah. Well, I think we have come to the end total of votes, and I'm going to select Howler, Chanter Barbarian. Let's see how that goes, huh? Why not? Okay, cool. So now, given that Seraphim is a Barbarian Cypher, and Constantin is a Barbarian Chanter, and the Scald specifically, so he's in melee range, we actually definitely have...
Need something? Yeah? Need something? What?
He's just got a growl as one of his activation ones. Well, I guess you are well and truly a barbarian, aren't you? Okay, but he starts with a nice two-hand weapon. Reading the chat log, you having fun there? Well, I guess you need the health too, buddy. I'm currently wearing fine leather armor. I can give you exceptional leather armor because we raided some merchants and I don't feel bad about it. He starts. I love that he starts with the oil of allure because that just makes so much sense. And a fine poleaxe. Yeah, very good. Do we have a larger, fancier two-hand weapon? No. Okay. 15 to 18 or 25. Reload time 7.8. I think I'd prefer to use dual pistols, even if it doesn't make as much sense. Like the little log. I'm not going to get used to that. Got an activation noise to just go at me. Very weird indeed. Okay, so, like, that was fun. I knew there was a sidekick in there and it would be worth investigating and speaking to Constantin. Weird. Well, like, he said... He sounds so calm and gentle, that's all. It's odd for him just to go at you, right? But not without warning. I say, as someone who didn't want to...
I see where you're going with that. There.
Why are we stealing from a random home? Ah, adventurers. No sense of right or wrong. So just a heads up. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Emma. Funny thing is, I like to give warnings about other things, as well as the fact that we're about to go on break. We're going to have a break in 18 minutes.
Keep your voices down, my colors.
Well, I'm going to investigate that. Yes, in 17 minutes now, we will have a nice break, and I will return with a mixed drink, something I want to show off. Come on.
You want something?
Spare coin. Got any food? Well, if they're up to mischief, I can't intervene, so Godspeed.
The Queen is holding court today with the Valians and Rawatayans.
How long before they're killing each other?
Wager on it?
Sans' Map Emporium. Keep your voices down, McCullies. The introduction and use of slang in Pillars All Over is just an excellent way to immerse people in the world.
Watch and learn.
These maps of the Deadfire Archipelago are incomplete, pocked with gaps denoting unexplored locations. Scroll notes track commissions and work orders in progress. Tattered and worn, this map depicts a small region of the Living Lands. Hey Caleb, who's a good dog. Well, it can't steal from anything in here. Sansa will probably see us. Among the usual cartographical tomes and manuals are a few withered volumes of travel memoirs and fanciful adventures. Even these scrolls have been painstakingly dusted.
Oh, hello. Welcome to my shop. It's such a pleasure to see a new face.
Sansa bounces back on his heels, a wide grin plastered on his worn face.
How might I assist you?
Show me what you have for sale.
Certainly. It would be my pleasure. Of course, it's mostly books and knickknacks. Maps I do on commission, you see.
Adventurer's Grimoire, get some more spells for Aloth. I mean, that would be reasonable. We're not going to do that. That fine greatsword might be an upgrade for Constantine. We'll check that out. Pitfalls of the Deadfire. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, we'll take a look at that later. Spyglass. God, we needed a spyglass, didn't we? Should we spend 5,000 gold immediately? Or do you think we'll get it through a quest if we just hold on for 5 minutes? God damn it, calm down. Will you kids be quiet? I just need to concentrate. Not really sure why I went on that strange tirade, but it did make me laugh, so I'm pretty pleased. Yeah, more damage with a greatsword. It's pretty good. I don't know if I go so far to say it's great. Two-handed style. Yeah, that's quite a bit of damage. There's only one more thing I want to check. Weapon efficiencies. Doesn't have it. Fight defensively. Trading damage for increased engagement. No, I don't want to trade damage. You're one of our damage dealers.
Yeah?
How might I assist you?
What do you do here, Sensor?
Oh, I am a cartographer. I make maps. I'm not half bad at it either. And may the gods forgive my immodesty for saying so.
Oh, Luxie, that's a good joke. Yes, please. Thank you for enabling this weirdness.
If you need a map of any settled region of the Deadfire, I am your man. And my commission rates are quite generous.
Oh my.
It used to be I would take to the sea and do a bit of charting myself. But I haven't the time. Too many maps need making. A shame, too. There's a whole swath of the Deadfire I've yet to see. I'm quite keen to write a book, in fact. Oh, but I won't trouble you about that. Excuse my nattering on, won't you?
I do a different kind of enabling, but I sure do enjoy it. Do you sleep here?
Sometimes.
He touches a hand to his forehead and blushes scarlet from his neck to the tips of his ears.
Married to the work, you know? I just get so engrossed in my maps. And next I know, it's morning.
Continue.
Sharing a bed with a few maps is a good sight better than sharing with Caleb, I'll tell you that.
How dare you?
He always hogs the blankets.
Oh, right. He rubs the back of his neck. Nice dog.
You think so? He is a magnificent beast, isn't he?
Sansa's face splits into a broad grin, bright enough to light the room. The faint trace of a smile forms on Adair's lips. Well, of course. He loves kindest animals.
He's been a bit low lately. Between you and me, I think he's heartsick for the sea.
Oh, is he? You said you're writing a book?
I'm putting together an explorer's account of the Deadfire. Or at least the part of it Queen Onekaza's tribe has laid claim to. My book will be the first of its kind. The Explorers Club will go mad for it. Or, well, that was the idea. It's a fiercely dangerous enterprise, in point of fact, and nobody will agree to chart the islands for me.
Exploration quest, you say?
You'd think ship captains would be a bold-hearted bunch. I offered fair recompense.
Sansa folds his arms, sighing.
I'm not exactly the most powerful fighter, or I do it all myself. Still, wouldn't it be wonderful? An explorer's guide to the Deadfire.
Put some nice pictures in that. Put some nice pictures in that book, and you've got yourself your explorer right here.
Do you mean it? This is... wow! I can't thank you enough. It's a lot of ground, I mean water to cover, and some of these islands are in very dangerous waters.
Despite his words, the gleeful expression on Sansa's face has not faded.
Don't worry, I planned it all out. We'll get your feet wet first. With a little experience under your belt, I'm sure you'll get a taste for it. Nothing will stop us. I mean, you.
Quest design! Don't have the whole thing available at the beginning so that players grab their newly formed ship and try to sail directly to the endgame and get killed by Crooksburg pirates. Quest design!
The idea is to explore all the islands that haven't been charted yet, or even named. That falls to you, amico. You can't tell me you've never wanted to name your own island.
Hilariously, Sansa, we already have.
I thought we could start with the waters around the company outpost at Port Magi.
What's that?
There are 2 islands in the region, and nobody's taken much notice of them yet.
Have we accidentally already named both of them?
Once you're back, I'll start filling in my map and adding your findings to the book. Oh, this will be wonderful.
New quest. Mapping the archipelago. I discovered an island. Duh, rats. We'll have to get on our ship and sail out again. Yeah, we've named Vela's Fall. I'm sure nothing terrible will happen on the next one. Like our adoptive child dying. Adoptive, kidnapped, you know.
My Seraphim, is there anything you have a hard time with, aside from humility?
I reckon I'll be half handsy at most things. More so all things piratical.
If only we were all as confident in real skills as you are in imagined ones.
You'd be right surprised how far confidence will take you, lad. Well, you'd have to give it a try.
Ooh, snap.
Ahoy.
Oh, what's that? Why would she? What is happening? The reputation. Right there at 0-0. Actually, Aloth is -1 with Seraphim, because Aloth does not like prideful people. Ta-da! There you go. Seraphim, he's fine. In fact, Seraphim thought it was pretty good. That he was pretty funny there, right? Aloth was talking mad shit for someone in Belay Range. You're absolutely right, Golem King. And it's funny that this ambient dialogue that didn't happen in a like official dialogue tree still counts as a minor negative because Aloth picked a fight for no reason. Constantine. He doesn't have any likes. Because he's a sidekick. I explained this a minute ago. What? Anyway. Neketaka and the Children of Dawn Stars, who are considered underneath Neketaka City. The Alien Trading Company in Port Marche, who are also considered part of there. These two like us. Aloth is... We're back to equal because... Below decks... This is the hardest thing, because if you mouse over anything, it interrupts. So you gotta... There we go. We've got, like... Look, we trust you. You're doing the right thing. We're looking after you. Even if you don't like the fact that we made some traditional choices. And we made some prideful choices as well. But otherwise, we're happy to have him. That's why we're back to equal. Maybe we'll get back to friends with him. I hope so.
Ahoy.
Nira Badata?
Madiko, where is that spoiled brat?
A woman in fine clothes clutches a ledger in both hands. She searches the faces of passers-by, settling on yours with an uncertain frown. Are you all right?
I'm trying to be the responsible one in the family, and it's a heavy burden.
Yeah.
Laro is past due for a company meeting. Mother wants me to drag the elusive louse back by his ear.
She tucks the book under her arm.
You'd think this district was a maze, the way he manages to hide.
She glances over your shoulder and sighs, then looks back at you with sudden recognition.
The spirit magnet? Sientere, that I did not recognize you.
I'm sorry, apparently.
If you desire to get in the graces of the Valiant Trading Company, we can help each other.
Maybe, not especially. They're kind of dicks, but I may need a favor from them, though. What sort of clout do you have with the trading company?
Mother's bank commands the wealth of the Deadfire campaign.
I see. Nira absently pats the cover of her ledger.
Could I persuade you to watch out for Laro? I'd pay generously for your trouble.
Well, we've got to use 10 perception to study your hands. What is going on there? Nira has been digging her nails into her ledger, leaving crescent moon-shaped impressions in the binding. She notices your interest and holds the book protectively close.
I'm concerned because Laro tends to feud with Orso, one of the local Valera rats.
What do you mean by Valera rat?
The Valeras. A brood of sea vermin playing at nobility.
She hefts her ledger as if to bring it down on a pest.
We squabble and compete, but Laro, the Pastenago, takes it too far.
I take it your mother is someone important?
It's Sally Bardato. The Valiant Trading Company leans on her to finance their mission. If only more of her offspring were as accomplished.
Nira raises her free hand and squeezes the bridge of her nose. If I happen across Lara, I'll let you know.
Would you? I'll be waiting at the estate in case he happens to return.
Nira thumbs over her shoulder.
Laro and his miscreant friends carouse at the tavern, the falls above the Adra Mill, and the southwestern bridge.
Oh, thanks again, Kelly.
If you see him, tell Laro to get his good-for-nothing ass back home.
Well, we do have this thing with chasing a rogue god to the ends of Aora, but I guess if it's on the way.
Done and done.
Constantine, will you help me open this jar of hagfish?
No way, little miss. It looks expired. Where'd you get that anyway?
You got me, mister. I stole it. You're not gonna tell anyone, are you?
That depends. You stop putting ants in my bedroll, and I'll think about it.
In that case, can you help me unlock this pretty box? I, found it in a drawer.
Gods be damned. We gotta find you some real parents.
Okay. Maybe I feel a little guilty for stealing the small child now. Thanks, Constantine.
God shepherds us all, traveler. Seek out his temple along the sacred stair.
In any case, how nice is it that Constantine and Vela have ambient dialogue like that? And additionally, how nice is it that... Well, let's go up there, absolutely. How nice is it that they seem to write and voice Vela as the subject of a Saturday morning cartoon special episode? Like, that's hilarious. Oh, you got me. I caught it.
Commotion at the palace.
Of course. Something about Luminous Aaah.
A giant made of Luminous Aaah.
All I know is that they're all at each other's throats up there.
Someone's coming. Alright. Very good. Against the backdrop of jeering youths, a young woman raises her arms with an air of practiced drama. Before her, two men stand across from each other, mirroring scowls.
You both attest that you have made all possible efforts to come to a peaceful...
The woman trails off as you approach, and you find yourself the sudden target of the crowd's attention.
Who is this Nasenale? How many cousins do you have or so?
Lara chuckles.
Costenago. Does that look like any cousin of mine?
How should I know? Your kin lie with eels.
What have we done? One also glares at Lara and bites back whatever insult he had at the ready.
We have business. What do you want?
Business, please. I know a formal challenge when I see one, because we're an aristocrat.
What's your words, Oaf? You want the Huana to know we're dueling?
My bad so to the tribals. We should be free to settle matters on Valiant terms.
Also glances in your direction with annoyance.
Small wonder the old empire collapsed in civil strife if this is the Valian way.
Aloth sneers.
And how do your colonies fare at the end?
Also narrows his eyes at Aloth. I suppose you have a good reason for this duel?
This street thug called my family a warren of corrupt inbreds. But is there a dung heap in all the world that does not have a little Valera cousin scratching through it?
You're both capitalists. Lara opens his arms wide and smiles to the milling crowd.
That wolf he calls mother would have us live out our days polishing Bardato silver.
He also spits at the ground between them. Hey chat, let's have a vote. I know it's really close to our scheduled break at 8:30, but still, let's take a look, right? Please vote 1 through 7. Wow. 1. I'm a watcher. Do you have any idea what I could do to you? 2. The Huana are gathering reinforcements to storm this position. They should be here any second. 3. Is this slight worth one of your lives? 4. Does this have to be settled by death? Surely there are better alternatives. 5. 10 copper pieces on Lara. 6. 10 copper pieces on Orso. 7. Fine, do what you like. Just get it over with. Ah yes, I will tell you what the icons are for. 6 is resolve. I'd see this as an intimidate check, even though it's not really using the intimidate skill, perhaps yet. And 2 is bluff. We're lying. The Huana are gathering reinforcements to storm this position. They should be here any second. Oh, that's a good one. It looks like Dead Men has voted 7. Golden King, I'd say probably killing them both and looting their corpses. See if we can set that up. Otherwise, we have 1 vote for 3 and 2. 2 is lying, yes. Sadly, we do not have the power to make it real. 2 or 3. Oh. Well, that's essentially everyone voting, aside from Deadman and Golden King, for 3. So let's ask the question. Ooh, a vote from Kelly for 4. That's good. Give it a few more seconds just in case we've got any late voters. Otherwise, let's hit number 3. Is this slight worth one of your lives? And I'm pretty sure we'll have another dialogue after this, so let's see how it goes.
Aaah, this is but one chapter in a long anthology of Bardato arrogance.
Is anyone flashing back to the beginning of Assassin's Creed 2?
Arrogance. Per complancanet, you should thank me for my patience.
Alright. So our next highest vote was 4, which has now turned into 3. I'm gonna hit 3.
Nothing less than the total disgrace of the Valeras would satisfy me.
Which was, does this have to be settled by death? Surely there are better alternatives. Followed up by Lara saying, yeah, I want to make him sad.
Then you will die unfulfilled.
Also shakes his head and huffs. Okay, now we've got another set of choices I'd like you to choose between. 3 for diplomacy, and because we're an aristocrat, anyone can kill. Fighting to first blood would be enough to prove that who's the better man. Well, 3, bluff. Keep talking and I'll draw your soul into the great beyond. Yeah, that's 2, sorry. Number 3, would your families approve of this? Or 4, fine, do what you like, just get it over with. So let's open the voting again. What do we do with these 2? Deadman continues to vote for Wander Away. It's a hilarious joke, but you are allowed to have other opinions, I promise. I'm going to count that as a 1 for Loxy. Another 1 for Emma, very good indeed. Promise you. And another 1 from Corey. That's 3 votes, very good indeed. And another vote for 1 with 4 people. This majority of our viewers. Let's take a look. Anyone can kill. Fighting to first blood would be enough to prove who's the better man. The pair of duelists eye each other warily.
I was the one who suggested fisticuffs, but you were eager to cut me open.
To first blood, then. Shall we resume?
And dialogue. Good job, everybody. That's pretty good. Very impressive. Oh, now we've got ourselves these lovely scenes. The duelists square off and tentatively circle each other. Stocky also moves with heavy strides, while Lara takes precise, measured steps. Onlookers gather and press at the edges of the poorly defined arena. The jeering lowest expectant mutters. The duelist seconds bring forth their weapons. Well, let's study each of the opponents. Watcher only check. You notice the sweat on Lara's upper lip and the furrow of concentration cleaving Also's brow. Well, that's good. Didn't get as much. Okay, well, let's find a better vantage point to observe the fight. No streetwise at all, so we fail. You shoulder your way into the thick of the crowd, but the press of bodies halts your progress. Watch quietly, for now. Once the swords are delivered to their respective bearers, the seconds back away in melancholy silence. Duelists cross their swords and bow and salute. The tranquil moment ends with a burst of motion. Despite their difference in size, the duelists seem evenly matched. Also doesn't settle on an established form, but he keeps pace with Lara's aggressive strikes. Mitigate the damage of the dumbassery. I think we will, but in the end we don't have to, because they're not fighting to the death. This is another moment the game is asking you if you want to end this quest in a different way, if you want to make sure that the person who hired us, hey, look out for my brother, to make sure he doesn't die, right? Let's watch a little longer. Orso and Lara trade fierce jabs, giving up any pretense of playing to the crowd. A hard downward thrust sends Lara's blade clattering to the ground. Orso hovers over Lara, a grin slowly taking form. He raises his blade and points it at his opponent's heart. This is supposed to be a fight to the first blood, but mercy is the farthest thing from the mind of the combatants. Use resolve and yell stop. Shout at the top of your lungs. Stop! Orso's killing stab goes wildly askew, missing his opponent's heart and instead carving a long slice along Lara's cheek. Lara falls to his knees, clutching at his face.
Not so pretty anymore, Postenago.
Congratulations on a nearly bloodless victory.
This does not end here, Valera dog.
Lara wipes away a line of blood and casts it to the ground.
Just make sure the other Bardatos learn from your example.
Also nods and signals for his attendant to depart. That was interesting. would be even more interesting if, say, he died. Why am I saving the game right there? Because we're about to take a break. But there's one more thing I'd like you to do over a scheduled break period. Usually I ask you to stand up and stretch and have a good time. But what I'd also like you to do is rename the ship. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to rename each ship. When you get a new ship, you can just like keep the same name, and I did the whole way through every other play. In fact, I kept the Defiant the whole way through. But this is a group endeavor. We are finishing Pillars of Eternity 2 together, so I'd like you to vote, everyone, in chat for your favorite ship name. Now, I don't have a specific name, list of names for you to choose from. No. This is much harder. You all need to shout out your favorites and then come to consensus by the time I come back in 10 minutes at 8:47, okay? Now, if we haven't reached consensus at that point, we'll talk it over a little bit more. She's one of ours. So, okay, that fits. That's good. Slam Shadows and the Poor Life Troy. Okay, so that's the maximum. Slam Shadows and the Poor Life. So that's pretty good. Consensus. Yeah, if you get to it. If you don't, we'll figure it out, okay? Otherwise, I'll see you in 10 minutes. Have a good time. I won't be watching chat, and we'll talk it over when I get back. 1 and 2, and back to chatting for a second because two things to show off. One, there's a dog in the room. Hello, doggo. Good to see you. Yes. Now, there you go. That's it.
Your drink is the second.
Yes. And the second thing, here's this beautiful old-fashioned I made because, why not? Oh my god. It's not an old-fashioned yet. I forgot the bitters. Hold on. What it actually is, it's got a lovely rose gum sweetener instead of regular syrups. That's fantastic. Be back in a second. Honestly, that's just ridiculous. What? Okay, well, let's click the chatting button again. Okay, cool. Professionals. You can tell I do this for real. I'm an affiliate. Anyway, now that it's got bitters attached to it, it is in fact a regular old-fashioned with a particular kind of rose gum instead of sugar or sugar syrup, which makes it a very interesting mixed drink indeed. I'm very pleased with it. Okatenta Shun whiskey as well, which is one of my favorites. Strawberry, not rose, strawberry gum. Now I've got to scroll through chat because we need to essentially figure out what we're going to name the ship because there are a lot of them. Now you can't do line breaks in Twitch chat, so I also can't do like multiple lines to put all of them in a single one. So hold on to chat for a little bit, okay? So first we have the She's One of Ours, sir. And then, so She's One of Ours, sir. Oh, wait, that looks like a line break. Am I allowed to do that? This is where we'd actually want absolutely to have a there we are. Slum Shadows in the Poor Life is as far as we got. And we have the Boaty McBoatface. And then the Apprenticeship, which is really good. I'd like camel caps for that, even if that's not the case. Lollipop. I'm afraid I don't get Lollipop the good ship. Frigate hell. And am I intentionally forgetting something? I don't see frigate crashing. Yeah, thank you. You're right. That should be there. This is thrilling gameplay. Don't worry. Okay, cool. I just lost my list. Amazing. Love it. Okay, fantastic. Hold on. We're writing this in Notepad. This is good stuff. Gameplay. Engaging content, but believe me, it's worth it. And now, everyone, I'm afraid we've got to be a little more hard on this one. Everyone's only going to get one vote. Now, you've made lots of submissions, and that I don't disagree with. I think you should have had as many guesses as you'd like. There are a lot of ridiculous times where I've had... I'm thinking specifically finding team names for Phenomenon, where we've had a lot of fun just listing names at one another for days or even perhaps weeks. And I really appreciate that. That was I've got some good memories there. So I think it's fun to have all of these, and I want to save all of these, whether we choose them or not. And I'm not going to do something wet vessel, unless someone... I ship it. And Captain of the Compensation, very good, Luxie, I like that. It's very funny. Shiver Me Timbers, Kelly, fantastic. The Litany of Litany's Litany, yep, that might be a little too long, we'll take a look. It's a classic. Whole series of nautical lines and bad touch, no. Nautical line, there we go. I like that. Holy shit, we're up to 14 already. Got this notion, no, naughty and nice, that's good. Very funny. You know what I could do? No, he doesn't play music in the background. That's annoying. 16. In future, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask like a mod to do this for me. Tell me about yourself. The wanker. Alcatraz or Azkaban. Well, I mean, I'll put him in. Thank you, Simon. You should be in chat doing it yourself, though. We're watching you. That's good, too. Can we stop for spyglass? Oh, riveting content. So what'd you do on stream? Oh, we listed nautical puns for an hour? Veilous Fall is very funny. I think it would be very funny if we perhaps listed every island and every boat. Veilous Fall, the SS No Threat, the Friendship, very good indeed. SS Boat, 5, 26, 20. Well, Bodie McBoatface is up there. Floating Bordello. No, the Slam Shadow is one of my favorites. I would never. Don't get me started. Don't be asked to do lots of big things. Oh, thank you. That's good. Series of Unfortunate Shipmates. That's too long. It's so good, though. Okay, so I'm sorry. This is as many as we got. We have 27 options. I've also got a character limit of 500, so... Oh, amazing. That's really visible. Fucking hold on. Just wait. Okay. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna screen capture my entire monitor. Just doing this on the fly. It's fine. Don't worry. Okay, go there. Right. Imagine if I had a voting widget. Yeah, fuck off, Deadman. I'd still have to do one after the other. Okay. We're good to go. Alright, so now you can see my entire monitor. What we can do... I'm not going to change it from this point. I'm sorry, Simon. I actually put Alcatraz, Azkaban there. Both as options. And I think that's not very readable. Wow. That's that. There you go. 130%? I can read it now. There we go. Good. Okay, so make your votes. You may only vote once. Please do it relatively quickly. I don't intend to change it, though we may I will save this list and we may revisit the list when we get a new ship because that just sounds appropriate to me. I will read them out for anyone who is not who uses a screen reader or has any visual issues. Otherwise, we'll be up and playing again very shortly. Choose one to vote from. If you've already chosen, you may vote before I finish reading them. Number 1, she's one of ours, sir. 2, the Slammed Shadow. 3, Slam Shadows and the Poor Life. 4, Boaty McBoatface. 5, the Apprenticeship. 6, Lollipop, the Good Ship. 7, Frigate Hell. 8, Frigate Crashing. 9, Touch My Junk. 10, I Ship It. 11, The Compensation. 12, Shiver Me Timbers. 13, The Litany of Litany's Litany. 14, Nautical Line. 15, Naughty and Nice. 16, Marry Good Time. 17, Tell Me About Yourself. 18, The Wanker. 19. Alcatraz Azkaban. 20. We're watching you. 21. Can we stop for Spyglass? 22. Vela's Fall. 23. SS No Threat. 24. The Friendship. 25. SS Boat. 26. The Floating Bob Dello. 27. A Series of Unfortunate Shipmates. No, Luxie. One vote for 21, one vote for number 1. That's good. Does the Series of Unfortunate Shipmates definitely not fit? Not there. Series of Unfortunate Shipma. One vote for 24. 21, 1, and 24. Now, we will round robin it. So, once we've got a short list, we can vote from those, okay? That's not strictly a round robin. Also, I am still here. 28, leave, not a vote. Maybe you could rule out anything that has too many characters? It's pretty good. Series of Unfortunate Shipmates. Yeah, we get to there. So... I could do math to work this out instead. 3 negative 34 31. You have 30 essentially. I'd say you'd have 30 characters. Oh, I know. How terrible is this? Kelly, you've got a good point. What I'll instead do... So that one is fine. Three characters there, so... The Litany of Litanies litany will actually fit. Otherwise, literally everything else fits. So you did very well. Got a couple of votes for 11. Whoa, the compensation's the first one to get more than one vote. That's so good. Yeah, you can cut the spaces, absolutely. Okay. I want to see a vote from Kelly, and I'd love to see a vote from Corey. Very good, Kelly. Thank you. Corey voted 24. All right, good. Thank you. So that's that one there. Yep, very good. Sorry. $11 and 24 and 1 and 21. We've now got 1, 11, 21 and 24. Now, Corey, I appreciate your input, but doubling up may be a little mean. Okay, so 1, 11, 21, and 24. We have The she's one of ours, sir. The compensation. Can we stop for spyglass and the friendship? Please select from the above options. Oh, Luxie. It's very hard to make decisions, I believe you. You already did? You may now, at this point, vote again. You need to get us to vote things out, not in. I guess that's a good point. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, does it? I guess this is an opportunity for everyone to, like, change their mind. Still 11. 2 votes for 11, that's good. Still 24. Why did I say, hey, everyone pick one, and then I removed all other options? It's like, okay, now pick again. That doesn't make any sense. I've narrowed it down to the ones you've already chosen. Choose again. Professional. God, aren't you glad you're with me? Okay, well, we got 2 votes for 11, so I'm going to add the compensation to the ship. And let's go from here. Alright, now I've got to remember to turn off that capture. There you are, you can see my face. You can see how I'm giggling at my own ridiculous choices. And name it the compensation. I should note that I think it's that naming a boat not a boat, that's very funny. Sorry. I think the best thing is I'm definitely going to hear about this from Emma later. Why did you do that, dude? Didn't make any sense. Can we stop for spyglass? Very good. Oh, that's one thing. Oh, fuck. Alright, I'm going to go through chat and I'm going to write down all the names, okay?
Punch!
Because I forgot to do that when I narrowed them down. Whoops. But we will not lose the list, okay? It's not going to happen. Yeah, I alt-tab to see if I can get it back. Vela just says, punch! Welcome to the Potato Estate. You can find Azali in his study. This is Azali. I'm just wandering in. Hey, Laro.
My face still hurts, but not as badly as a sword through the gut.
He's going through your chest, buddy. You would have been very dead.
Give me a real challenge.
You're welcome. It's fine that...
Not exactly my area of expertise.
It's fine. The Guardian doesn't see us. We shut the door. Shut the door now. Is that a special item? I think that was. The Final Journal of Jodas. No, that's the Skayan Holy Book again. Which we have read before in Pillars 1.
Laro has returned to the estate intact. Perfetto.
Neri loosens her grip on her ledger.
Too much Bardato blood has been spilled in the name of Vengiata.
I get the feeling there's still some unfinished business.
Fuck. Nothing has been solved, only delayed. Here, for your discretion.
She passes you a patch of coins and adds a short mark to her ledger before snapping it shut.
You have not met Mother, have you?
Nera thumbs her chin, leaving a spot of ink behind.
I'm certain she'll have work for someone invested in the family.
Interesting. I'm not sure if we'll take her up on that.
And what do we have here?
God, I love stealing from rich people. Why can't we shut that door?
Captain, bye. Captain.
Team members are standing in the way. Well, no thieves' buddy needed. Squad of Sunbeam, my word. These dour portraits seem to observe you moving up and down the corridor.
Ah, yes. The newcomer. I thought you might visit.
That's not gonna happen.
Lady Izali Bardato. Custom dictates, I say, at your service. I have not the time for such lies.
Cool, love that. She regards you with a cool expression, but stands with a fighter's poise.
You saw my son dueling with the Valera boy. At least he survives to learn from his mistakes. Those who aid my blood profit by it.
Azali produces a purse from her desk drawer and tosses it in your direction. We get paid twice for the same job, huzzah!
When Valera and Bardato cross each other, only blood and sorrow remain.
Azali sighs, her gaze turning away. Do you see your families ever making peace?
Perhaps in time, if great Wodika judges us worthy of supporting the company. Word has spread fast about the little spectacle of the dogs. You've certainly caught everyone's attention.
Perhaps the Watcher of Cadn...
Perhaps the Watcher of Cadnua and House Bardato can help one another.
Fuck, Jimbles, come on. What is it that you want?
Queen's Beth whispers of a Valera plot against my family. Something grander than pointless duels.
Oh my.
You are a newcomer to the Deadfire, uniquely positioned to loosen Valera tongues.
She taps her chin and regards you thoughtfully.
Zilly Valera strums a lute by the watchtowers. A meek-tempered boy. Fonder of song and drink than the family business. He might spill something of his family's affairs.
Apologies. Not really sure why I've now got a running nose. Put in a good word for me with the Valiant Trading Company and it's a deal.
I'll have it taken care of at once.
She dips a quill and makes a quick mark in one of her documents.
There. May it open doors for you. Try not to alert
I don't
the
strictly know
Valeras
why
of
we
our
did that.
knowledge. That is the point of involving an outside agent.
Yeah, Slam's gonna fuck that up immediately. Why? Well, let's click on you notice something unusual. Your attention is drawn to Azali's desk. As among the assorted ledgers and documents sit a brass seal, still dripping with heated wax. The drippings have dried into an almond-shaped pattern which resembles the shape of an eye fringed with bird feathers. A nicotinating membrane flicks across the surface in a barely perceptible wink.
Are you still with me?
Azali breaks your focus by waving a hand in front of your face. She glances between you and her tidy desk, frowning. Your desk, the eye? She glances back at her desk again, this time with impatience.
I'd venture that you're working too hard.
Okay. Why are the Bardatos and Valera feuding?
Because we do not belong in the same business. The Valeras are opportunists reaping the rewards of happenstance.
Amazing.
They're little better than the pirates they're charged with slaying.
Better is self-deception, mayhaps.
The pirate scoffs. Your family seems well established here.
Aaah. My bank shoulders the costs of the Valiant Trading Company's operations in the Deadfire. It is said that no Valiant may wipe themselves unless a Bardato signature approves it first.
Well, that sucks.
If that's true, we gotta stop shaking hands with them.
I'm certain you've touched worse, farmhand.
Azali's mouth twitches, just shy of a smirk. Hey, comrade. Yeah, well, we are. Everything we can get away with. These decorative plates are all stamped with the Bardato seal. This instrument appears to enjoy frequent use. It is impeccably tuned. Well, we can't get into the vault. Or we can. Fuck this victory. It's time to steal literally everything. It's mine. God, it would suck if it turns out that I'm actually allergic to not only beer, but also whiskey. Maybe it's oranges. I don't know what's making my eyes water. It sucks. Oh well. The guard captain takes his time moving to the barred door, his armor creaking with every step. He praises you with a lazy sweep of the eyes, while his fingers curl casually about the hilt of his blade.
You have an appointment to see the vault, sir?
A vault? What's in here?
The Bardatos are a banking family, Mestre. We hold a great many accounts belonging to our fellows within the Valian Trading Company. We also safeguard those valuables they entrust to our keeping. A matter you may discuss with the lady. Upstairs.
The captain makes a hurting motion with his arms as he shepherds you towards the stairs. Well, it's not. I don't think we can get away with that then, can we? Give us the rugs. I think technically the 4 tiles will be nailed down. Perhaps if not nailed down, then glued down. Look, we'll be back. Once they trust us even more, we can steal from them easier. Adhered, glued, mortared. Affixed with some sort of magical... Well, the Valeria estate's right next door. God, no wonder they hate each other. I dislike my neighbors at times. Definitely not nailed. You're terrible. Would this perhaps be informed by your architecture degree? I'm so happy to start an absolutely pointless argument with you. Got a Word document with all 28? Oh, Emma, thank you very much. You're fantastic. You know, I appreciate you so much. You're really good. Would you like to see a movie with me sometime, Emma? Yeah? It's alright, we can take this to DMs.
A light's foot and an heavy bullet, Cap.
Maybe like Wednesday? Yeah, exactly. Wednesday's a good day for it. Actually, Wednesday's a terrible day. It's just the only day. Anyway, this gilded frame is flaking. Ooh. Oh, you aren't renting your bunk here, are you? Why do you ask? I'll steal all your shit, absolutely. Nothing is lost. The search for Uzakaya. Excerpted from Nothing is Lost, the collected journals of Wanamora Wave Chaser. The Runga's men came to collect my portion of prize share this morning, and I had nothing to give them again. I make no money for the tribe, though I am always in my little ferryboat, Grey Gull, carving through the waves. At night, I get no sleep. Waitaro asked me to conserve the lamp oil, to come to bed, but I can't, not till I find it. I know it's out there, the lost city of Uzakaya. On every chart and map of the Deadfire I found, whether Huana, Valian, or Rautai, there's a gap, an empty space where so much of our history should be. Did it burn to ashen cinders in a cataclysm? Did it sink below the waves? Does Nagati clutch it to her breast at the bottom of the sea? Perhaps it's lost and wandering, like me. Unmoored, looking for a home it can't remember, but for some insistent longing burns in its chest, an ember always smouldering, a little fire to push it on. Waitaro wants me to give it up, but how can I? On mornings when the sky is so clear I can hardly catch my breath for the beauty of it, I think I see it out there, shimmering in the brightening blue light. Is it a taunt or a beckoning? Would I be able to tell the difference? I ask the fisherfolk when they return with their catch at sunset. Tibere, I say. Did you see anything? Oh, you, Mabori. How about you, Puira? They avoid me now. Waitaro says they're busy, but I know they think I'm tide-sick, sun addled. The way Puira's lip curls in disgust when I approach. The way Tibere's eyes seem to see right through me. I know. They won't have to suffer me much longer, because tomorrow I'm taking Grey Gull, and I'm sailing north. Someone has to chase the old tales, so I will. Why did I read that? It's important.
You're looking prettier than when you left, Orso.
We can take...
Cut it out.
You can take that without stealing. Yoink! Thanks for the hollow book, sucker! Tick of the clock fills the dining room in quieter moments. Also Valera.
Taught Laro a lesson, I think.
Yeah, I guess. Wow. So, sorry everyone. I'm gonna mute the microphone for a second. Yeah, so apologies, Corey. There is no Final Fantasy this week. We are taking a single night off, and as you may have missed it, But I'll repeat, I did a bunch of grinding in Final Fantasy IV, so we're going to finish that game essentially.
Sponge smells funny. Can I have some?
Absolutely not. It is a drug. You are underage and it is bad for your brain. When you're an adult and your brain is finished growing? Yeah, of course. So, Final Fantasy IV will be finished essentially as fast as you can walk through the game when we go to it. Not this Wednesday, but next week. And that'll be fun, believe me. Once I have a chance to take a look at the beautiful, excellent. It's cool, you can still hang out with them with no stream. Like, yeah, that would be good. I'm afraid also unlikely to be an option unless I'm going to see the movie by myself. Though they vary wildly in style, you noticed a nautical bent to most of the paintings. These pots appear to have been made locally. And they're full of cave coral. And this table is full of rum and water. Rum, water, grog. I wish it illuminated all of the nameplates.
Am I supposed to play nanny? They listen to you, Martino. Enough. We have a guest.
What are you arguing about?
Ah, a new face in the Valera halls.
Atero Valeria's face is lined and weary, but his coat is tidily buttoned, his posture faultless. Valera? I'm pretty sure I caught a member of your family dueling with Bardato. He nods solemnly.
You will forgive me if I'm distracted. Trouble and scandal plague my household.
How dare.
You kept Laro and Orso from the beyond. We could use such a mediator.
I essentially called them cowards for trying to fight to the death instead of working things out more interestingly.
Martino has need of muscle and brains outside of the Valera house.
Atero frowns toward his son. Tell me about the job.
Let me take point on this one, father.
Martino pats Atelo on the back and turns to you with a more severe, businesslike expression.
Some royal Deadfire crews have lately taken to pirate hunting. One such crew has been boasting of their victories near the Wild Mare, singing their Rauatai songs and making our clients anxious.
Interesting.
Hunting Principe dogs is our business. With all these problems with the Bardatos, now is not the time for competition from the Brass Citadel. It would be better if they took their business elsewhere.
When Atelo isn't looking, Martino draws his thumb across his throat. Well, I don't know if we'll do that.
Well, you could always start shooting the shit out of one another and leave good Deadfire folk be. Just a suggestion.
I'll talk to these soldiers for you.
Perfecto. I am sure the words of the Great Watcher will save the day.
Martino punctuates his sing-song mockery with an exaggerated sigh.
Make sure those royal bastards understand the Queen's birth is Valera territory.
Well, we'll have to think about whether we're doing that quest. Get involved in Rauatai versus
this calls for a subtle touch.
Valerian, so essentially Deadfire Trading Company politics. Are we interested in helping two different imperialist nations start fights? No, I'm interested in stealing literally everything. Its vanity seems seldom used apart from the wash basin. A fine layer of dust is settled onto the surrounding tiles. Tins and jars. Not tiles. Oops. Valera Guard, Valera Guard.
Easy does it.
Now we're stealing guard stuff.
Right here. Be right there.
I guess they're class traders, and that's how we can make ourselves not feel bad about it, but still, it's kind of mean. Let's pickpocket a lodger. Yeah, let's take his baby pearls, copper skates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Alright, let's get out of here. That was good. Worthwhile. Fun to take things, earn them. Lovely. Become rich. Become ungovernable. Take everything in sight. Big A, do crimes. Like a minor history of that phrase, because without context it feels like I'm just encouraging people to break laws for the sake of it. I see it as an important reminder that the fact that being gay itself, being queer, being different, was a crime. And in many places still is a crime. And I think...
I worry about you, Adair. There'd be a thing of free out here that you shouldn't be aiming at pets.
Hey, it was dark. I only saw the back of your head. Thought you were some huge island squirrel.
This ain't about me, farmer.
Why do I bring it up? Because at some point, it's worth remembering that being gay itself was a crime, and so laws themselves will change to the point where something that should be legal isn't, for no good reason. Broken bottles litter the cobblestones of this narrow street. The air is thick with a reek of dog scat. Gross. So perhaps being yourself and doing crime in some way is better than not being yourself.
Well met, stranger.
Perhaps
if you feel like
doing
investing
crime
in
is a worthy
protection,
step.
I'd be willing to trade iron for copper.
Yeah, I'm going to present you with a friendly smile. Perhaps doing crime is a worthy step in between something becoming legal. At least that's how I see the phrase. I'm going to present you with a friendly smile. The selection is fine, but looking for even better equipment. Wow, fuck
I
you.
assure you that everything I sell is well crafted. But I will admit I'm not quite the weaponsmith that Marihi is. Nor do I possess Uto's expertise with firearms.
I mean, Aaah did essentially just pat a Orland's head or hair, and there's some racial implications there. But I'd prefer to say he's probably learned from our good friend in Pillars 1. No longer does the racism.
Marihi, you can find in Pariki's Overlook, the district to the north. Uto has a shop in the Brass Citadel, in the eastern part of Neketaka.
We'll see. Let me see what you have.
Lots to see. Take your time.
She nods. Cool, a very expensive helm we're not getting. 2 intellect, 1 religion, also grants 2 different abilities. Like, that's good. 1 perception. Oh, that's useful. Cool. No. Taylor?
That's close enough.
The young girl narrows her eyes and reaches for a dagger tucked into her back pocket. Perception. Her cheeks are sallow and she licks the edge of her dried lips. Even if she'd eaten this week, you'd doubt she'd be in fighting shape. Oh, there. No need for that.
Perfetto. Smarter than you look.
Her hands drop to her sides.
Can't be too careful. Queen's birth has an edge to her.
What's a kid like you doing in the streets of Neketaka?
Nasenale. I've never had a roof over my head longer than an evening.
She cocks an eyebrow at you.
I guess cutting me loose was cheaper on my parents than a passage back to the Republics. Or a few bites of bitter squash.
I don't know. Aaah is, like, I hate to give up the ghost this early, but Aaah is actually straight. If you're playing a male character, you can't have a romance with him. Like, he was born this way, we shouldn't be too mean to him about it. But it is, perhaps privately and out of his awareness, a bit disappointing. But in the end, he does fit a relatively decent archetype of, like, a straight person. Yeah, radiate straight vibes, exactly, Luxie. Not. You know anything about local pirates hassling Zamal?
Ugh, if they are the same ones who robbed Radora blind.
She drags her threadbare sleeve across her nose. Yeah, that sounds pretty good right about now.
The boss and his wolf sleep their fun off by day.
Well, it's daytime now. Where can I find him?
But by night, he and his botzo friends keep to the alley giving out bruises for coin.
She gestures off in the opposite direction. Well, I think we need to come back at night, wouldn't we? Let's talk to Symbol first. Want to join the performance, do you? Straight himbo vibes. Look, there's nothing wrong with the straight himbo, but I prefer to be, personally, a bisexual disaster. None of you are surprised. It also suits me well. Forsaken dog. Shop Noah. Jeez, you're not leaving us. 2 insight and 1 metaphysics? That's fantastic. Sorry, Levin. And I would give just his recovery penalty and part of deals on damage with guns. I'm sorry, Cutthroat Cosmos stays. Levin, you stay with us. We're not leaving you behind. Yeah. We're gonna have a different little pet with us right now.
This calls for us there.
Now, we're looting everything in this house because they left a dog behind. How dare they? That's our excuse, and I'm keeping to it. Aloth is bisexual disaster? I'm pretty sure Aloth is bi. Actually, is he romanceable? Yes, he is. He is indeed. Seraphine is absolutely pan. Yep, you're correct as well. Seraphine's romance is shorter, apparently. I've never done it. Adair whistles at the dog. Well, yeah, he was a good boy. Look at all the places we've been through. I think we need to come back at night to deal with that. Let's visit the Luminous Mill, and let's go back to the Valiant Trading Company, because we weren't finished talking to there before it got night.
Woe to those who labor in the shadow, for nothing is hidden from Aethys' divine sight.
That's Sam Riegel again. Also, I'm not wearing my second headset. Not really sure why I'm not. It's actually habit, because, like, when I stream, I steal the study. Emma doesn't generally feel comfortable with being on the other side, because, like, you may be able to hear her typing, and, you know, it's fine. I turned the gain down really low. Like, you heard Marvel barking, so you would hear her type, but it shouldn't be too bad. Anyway. So, when she's here, I have one headset off, so that, like, I can hear her talk when I'm gaming. It's pretty normal. And so this side of my headset is really worn and about to break. And this side is fine, because I just leave it on all the times. That's funny. Daily arrivals and deliveries of crude and refined Luminous Aaah are carefully logged here. Cortina's voice finds you before she does, her barks of laughter and cheerful directives resounding throughout the mill. She flits from worker to worker, offering critique and approval. When she finally spots you, a shadow of apprehension passes over her face. She hides it with a toothy grin. Oh, that's some fantastic box text. Holy shit, right? Ooh, 10 out of 10 box text. Love that. Fucking steal that? Remove the part where it says Aaah. Actually, this part doesn't. Right? Just use it in your game. That's so good. How much have we learned from about Cortina immediately with evocative words? Oh, mwah.
If you are here about the taxes, tell the Queen... Oh, you are not the tax collector.
She narrows her eyes, her hand twitching at the hilt of her blade.
What business brings you to my mill?
Literally none, we're just adventuring. Who are you?
Okay.
Cortina leans in close, one prodigiously furry eyebrow raised.
You go around asking just anyone in Queensbirth personal questions. Maybe you end up dead in a ditch. Have caution, eh?
Good luck.
Lucky for you, I am a woman of honor.
She gives you a sunny smile and claps her hands together.
I direct Luminous milling for the Valiant Trading Company. It's a nice job, huh? And I'm quite good at it. You want to know more? Buy me a drink first, per guano.
Cortina claps you on the shoulder, a playful smile on her lips. For the good. What do you do here? Cortina looks about the room with exaggerated wonder, her green eyes wide. She laughs a little to herself and runs a finger across the arm of the chair beside her. She holds the finger up for your inspection. It's caked in shimmering blue dust.
We mill Luminous, of course. Take big chunks, break into smaller chunks, crush into dust-sized chunks.
What does that do, Cortina?
Per complancanet, it is really not so complicated.
She gives you a condescending little pat on the arm.
Good day.
Bye, Cortina. Wonder what this place adds to the world. What are we learning from this location? What does it give us? Why did they include it in the game? All questions that you should absolutely ask when you're including a scene or a place in your tabletop game. These crude shards of Luminous Aaah retain their unearthly glow. If you are including something like this in the game, or in the world, or on screen, what does it add? This is to make Chekhov's gun actually feel important, right? Chekhov's gun, the idea being that if you show a gun in Act 1 of the play, it should come into play at some point in Act 3. In a basic interpretation, that's like saying, okay, well, like, pick up the wet dog. Abraham the wet dog reduces recovery penalty for armor and grants a party-wide effect. What's the party-wide effect? Regain some health when they kill an enemy. That's nearly as good as dealing extra damage with guns. Enjoy your new pet, Adair. Fuck yeah.
Hey there.
Anyway, what I hate that Chekhov? A gun! No! No, like, in basic interpretation, it's be like, yeah, if you put a gun in play, it should be important. No. What it is, like, the lesson I take away from that part of, like, narrative design is that you have a limited number of things to set your scene with, to build your story, to create a narrative around. Like, set dressing and scene composition is an important part of telling your story, and that is one of the things that differ between...
All right. Which one of us am I thinking of now?
You be thinking of the Watcher.
That's 10 in a row. That's some talent you got.
Aye, the talent of noticing who you be glancing at before you ask me who you be thinking of.
I didn't want to interrupt the casual dialogue. A pacifist in a gun shop, he named a Chekov as a fucking liar. Now that's a very funny joke, exactly, but it actually reiterates my point. The interesting thing it adds to the world, like what you need is when you put something on screen or as part of your set design, you have a limited number of tools to tell your story, and your story may be that you can have a pacifist in a non-peaceful situation. You can have a pacifist, a peaceful person in a scenario that is encouraging violence, and then, like the great musicians Caligula's Horse say, you can be force-fed war and spit peace. That's a story you can tell in a play like that. But if you're sitting in a gun shop and nothing ever comes up and it doesn't impact the story at all, if it doesn't add anything, if it's not worthwhile, if having a gun on the wall doesn't say anything, like it doesn't imply that he's a hunter or has done hunting before or he's rich enough to inherit these sort of things, what have you added? That's just wasted resources, and if you're telling a story in those scenarios, it's best to use all the resources you have to tell your story. Let's talk to Shrimp.
Defiance Bay, am I right?
A sizable armor smiles and claps you on the shoulder. Hard. Of course! How could I forget? And gives you a look that is skeptical if amused.
I was but a face in the crowd, but I remember the one who walked out of Hadron House alive.
Claps on the shoulder again, harder, and this time you recognize inebriation behind his enthusiasm.
He's had more than a few. Perhaps we should go before this ends in rambling professions of love.
He leans close to you, speaking low.
I must be seeing double, Elfman, because it's like there's a great big lady crouching on your shoulders.
The sailor squints at Aloth and shrugs. He can see Isilmir? Aloth presses his lips together and, for a few seconds, looks as if he's struggling against Isilmir.
So, what brings you here, friend?
What are you doing?
Captain gave us extra coin to occupy ourselves while we're on leave. We've been draining Valian wine cellars and trying to remember the words of Rauatai anthems, loudly as often as not.
He turns to her compatriots with unrestrained glee. Martino Valera wants you out of Queen's Birth.
Valera, one of the stuck-up pirate hunters.
Yep.
We move for no one, friend.
His expression darkens and his hands drop to his sides. Look, if you just beat it for a few hours, then we both win.
No. Tell the Valeras they can lick my boots.
Anything I can say or do to convince you to leave?
We'll leave when we're good and ready. Valera should get used to waiting.
On second thought, you can go about your business.
That's what I thought. Now, if you don't mind.
He turns and nods away. Why was Aloth fighting Isilmir? Because Shrimp, this person, could see Isilmir, and it's weird enough that perhaps she wanted to say something. Shrimp said, there's a woman on your shoulders. I mean, if you can see awakened souls, that might be what it looks like. That is weird.
Can I borrow a sword? I promise to be careful.
No. Vela, absolutely not. Anyway, why are we not attacking Shrimp? Just being like, okay, get out. I'm an adventurer. I solve problems with swords. Yeah, why? Because that would be pointless and it'd make enemies of the Principi, and Seraphim is a pirate, and he may be annoyed if we're sent in to go solve a problem with a pirate who's just No, he was a pirate hunter. That's right. Maybe we should kill him. Anyway, we'll figure it out. The Custer scan of the shelves reveals labeled ledgers that date back decades. Now, we needed to speak to a particular person here because we were solving a problem. Governor's bodyguard. Can we speak to the governor?
You have business here?
The guard holds up a hand, appraising you in a few sweeping glances. I'd like to speak with the governor.
You are in luck. The governor is between meetings. Go on in.
Oh, thank you. Because we're lazy? That's a decent answer, comrade. I think we've had worse. Luva! Hi! Standing next to her desk and lost in thought, the Governor Alvari looks up at your approach. Her expression of intent focus thaws instantly, and she greets you with a startlingly sunny smile.
An interesting surprise. The Watcher of Cadnoa, no? I am told that is your ship in the harbor. Be cozy, I mean nothing by it. All newcomers are of great interest here.
Are you famous, or are you just a newcomer in general? I think it's a decent question. It's like... Also, like, there's an Orlan. He's tiny and he looks very dangerous. He's traveling with 4 other dudes. Just talk to him.
I am Lueva Alvari, Governor in Residence of the Valiant Trading Company here in Neketaka. What brings you to my door?
I've come from Port Mahache. Governor Clario suggested the Valiant Trading Company might have work for me.
Generous of him. I am a little surprised he gave you up, to be honest. His operations on Port Mahache must be going more smoothly than reported.
Nope.
How much do you know about the Luminous Adra trade?
What's your interest in the Adra?
It sells for its weight in gold. Our investors have charged us with claiming every vein we can reach.
Alvari punctuates her blunt statement with a smile.
Every viable deposit is of interest to us. Cartographers, surveyors, at any moment we have a dozen expeditions underway.
Fancy colonists.
Some weeks ago, we received word of a large quantity of luminous Adra on a distant island. Pukokahara. It is not charted on any of our maps.
Well.
However, Pukokahara is said to neighbor the island of Tikawara, and we've already made contact with the natives there. We dispatched an expedition to Tikawara with instructions to locate the Adra site and determine its value.
Tikawara, the village of Tikawara, was recently founded by a small Huana tribe. Though the location has limited access to food, it is close to the legendary Ingwithan ruins known to the Huana as Pukokahara.
Our people have neither returned nor sent any word on their progress.
Well, hey guys, it's good to see you tonight, man. No, that is a orange wedge that I use as garnish for my altered old-fashioned. I am actually a qualified bartender, so I'm happy to say, yeah, man, eat the garnish. Of course you do. Alvari spreads her hands in a gesture of helplessness.
We are too long delayed, and someone must finish the job. A watcher can determine if there is essence in the Adra, if it is worth the trouble and investment to remove it. Information for which we are willing to pay.
You want me to find your people?
Ideally. But if the worst has come to pass, I would like you to complete the investigation of the Adra deposit. Anything that may assist the company.
What do you know about Pukokahara?
Not much, unfortunately. A few superstitions among the locals, but they're unusually tight-lipped about the subject.
Alright, let's use our intellect and diplomacy to say, if I'm to sail to Tikawara, I will need to purchase some supplies.
Yes, I take your meaning. Here, a taste of what's to come.
Ah, how easy it is to get people to do things that in fact help you by just having resources.
This will be of some use to you, I think. It entitles you to act as a commissioned agent of the Valiant Trading Company. Present it and you will be recognized as such.
Alvari presses the document into your hand. Yeah. I do like mango. It's just not something I have right now, and generally wouldn't eat on stream, what with the decades-long complex with eating. But mango is an excellent ingredient in several brilliant drinks, so I'm sure I'll make something with it soon, given we're coming closer and closer to the end of summer, so we'll run out of mango, and better take advantage of that fact now. You can make an excellent mango daiquiri.
Until then, I believe we're finished. Return here once you have word of our agents and our prize. Oh, and take care upon the open sea. There are greater hazards in these waters than a few pirates.
Yeah, we didn't have a chance to actually talk about the contract. Jimbles ASMR eating mango. Here's the thing, I could get closer to the microphone, use a deeper voice and whisper. And I'd be happy to do so, especially if it perhaps gives you the tingles that you may appreciate. But I don't know about the little lip smacks and small movements that could be formed by eating a mango directly into the microphone. Plus, this close to the microphone, I should probably get a cover for it so you're getting less plosives. too loud and I was talking so quietly and softly. I would have to turn the microphone. Like, the gain is already real low, so I could turn the microphone volume down. Hold on. Okay, the microphone volume is down even lower, so maybe that'll be even easier. I am talking pretty quietly too, so maybe it's alright. We're all nice and close. No, everyone hates it. Okay. Alright, everyone hates it. Never mind. Worse? What do you mean worse?
Thanks for letting me tag along. The Deadfire is awfully big for this little Orlin.
Velo, I'll repeat. I kidnapped you a few years ago.
Welcome back. Is there something else you wish to discuss?
I'm sorry to make all of chat terrified, but I will suggest anyone who is excited to clip that, please go ahead. I will post it to Twitter at 3 in the morning to make all the American people who are happily watching VODs terrified and annoyed at my terrible voice. Like that intentionally inaudible volume. Oh, Loxy. Anyway, I'm pretty sure we asked number 1, we can talk about the contract. Are you in charge here?
An interesting question.
Governor Alvaro's mouth twists in a rueful smile.
Director Castor concerns himself with the business of the Valiant Trading Company as a whole. He must coordinate our operations across the entire region. I am afraid you must deal with me for the time being. You seek work, information. These are things I can help you with.
She folds her hands. Well, I guess I'm wrong then. Well, let's ask the leading question. Could you tell me a little about the Valiant Trading Company?
Well, the Valiant Trading Company has been here in Neketaka for many decades now. Its main interest is in the mining of Luminous Aaah, for which we have negotiated with numerous tribes for access to the Aaah sites and, where possible, labor.
Yeah.
The company also engages in more mundane lines of trade, of course. Ultimately, we are merchants.
That's understating it a lot. You are the East Indian Trading Company.
Welcome back.
Have some questions.
Please, go ahead.
What is it you do here?
Ha! What don't I do?
She gestures to the papers upon her desk.
I tend to the day-to-day business of the Valiant Trading Company. Our negotiations, contracts, and so on. The director takes a broader view of the business. You might call him our navigator. He directs the company's ambitions in the Deadfire.
Could you tell me a little about the Valiant Trading Company?
Well, the Valiant Trading Company. The company also engages in more
What are your thoughts on
simple
animatsu?
science. I was never of a scholarly disposition, but I recognize that animancy can be nearly as useful as a good caster. As with most fields of study, its merit depends on the mind pursuing it.
Which is essentially how we decided in Pillars Warm.
Very well.
Okay, well, you can't help us. And I can't steal your stuff, so... let's find someone who can. Have their stuff stolen. No, edit the contract. Yes. Luca! That's a name I recognize. Alright. The clerk busies himself about the room, favouring you with a brief glance. He rubs under his eyes and exhales through his nose.
If you're here on company business, then I will fit you into my schedule.
He gestures for you to go on. Examine the clerk. Luca's shirt is spotted with a number of faded purple stains that you recognize as droplets of wine. Someone has tried unsuccessfully to wash them out. Noting your interest, Luca tugs his jacket closed.
The service at the tavern are clumsy. Most clumsy indeed.
He clears his throat and fans at his neck. What is this place?
Stumbling from the street, I see.
Luca sneers and surveys you with a patronizing look.
This is the heart of the Valiant Trading Company. You would know that if you had a reason to be here.
Pull out the contract. The writ that says we're authorized to do things on behalf of the company, and he'll look like an idiot. Comrade, well, we'll see if we can find Pelagini around the city and ask her questions.
From her office, Governor Alvari carries out the will of the Songretta Mea Compressa.
Or the baths person. Yeah, that's also a good idea. We'll see what we can do. From our office, yeah.
We clerks are the fingers of their long reach.
He clutches his hand over his heart and bows sharply. I spoke with Tawinu outside. Do you have a claim on his tribe's land?
A lawful claim, I might add. No matter what the native says to the contrary. He showed up with a forged contract, as if I wouldn't know the difference between our paperwork and theirs.
He gestures dismissively out the door. That's not what he was trying to do, you idiot.
Tawenu is lucky. I only seized the forgery. The galley is too good for his kind.
You're a dick. Anyway, there must be some agreeable way to sort out Tawenu's problem.
Your villager friend would do well not to stand between the company and our prize. The company is allowed to solve problems as we see fit. And right now, Tawenu is a problem.
Do not see people as issues to be dealt with.
Besides, lying is second nature to the Ranga heir and his ignorant cliente.
Alright, cliente means people. We have 8 options, one of which is farewell and walk away, so we might as well say, hey Deadman, you're doing that already. But I think it's worth asking, hey chat, please vote for one option between 1 and 8. Number 1, I'll make sure Tawenu sees reason. 2, what is the purpose behind such a contract? 3, how much would it cost for you to lose the original contract? 4, we're talking about the Duape homeland. This isn't right. 5, Tawenu mentioned that you were anxious about talking to him. Why? 6, I don't have time to solve this politely. 7, you know, I can always just sit on the office stoop and tell passers-by how the company conducts himself. That uses a streetwise skill. And 8, farewell. Lots of these ask questions and give us more information, but they may still lock us out from additional dialogue, so I wanted to give you the choice here. Okay? 5, 3, 7. Thanks, Luxie. Really want to start with 5? Well, vote for 5 then. Sounds good. And Comrade votes for 3 or 6. This is hilarious. It's like the running joke of, how do you tell ask for the definition of a couple, and some people say 2 or 3. And that's a good example of who's poly or not. Here I'm like, okay, pick an option. We have 3 or 6, 5, but 3 as well, and also maybe 7. I'm like, well, you guys must be fun at parties. Yes, please let me join in. Oh, chat, I'm just rattling your chain, don't worry. Is there 3 options you liked also? Very good, Corey. I want to go 5, then 3, then 7. That's good, because in the end, I'm going to press probably 5. Lots of people are voting for 5, so we will do that. But we will revisit the choices shortly. Number 5. Tawenu mentioned that you were anxious about talking to him. Why?
The crown has been known to grimace at our client tribal privileges.
He steeples his fingers together and chooses his words with care.
We do not allow local trouble to stymie us, so that Rawatai can steal an advantage.
You'll notice we have an additional option. 5 now reads, you're ashamed of this practice and you don't want to admit it. That's an insight skill. Oh ho ho! What an interesting twist to this characterization, huh? Now everyone, if you would like to vote for something else, perhaps throw something in. Otherwise, I'm essentially going to press 3. Now 3 votes for number 5. That's a good number. I like seeing that. What we learned from asking questions. I'm very impressed with the chat. I'm glad you're here with us. I am happy to say that we're having a good time. Number 5. You're ashamed of this practice and you don't want to admit it.
Tostenago, the company has every reason to congratulate itself.
Luca.
Now move along. I have larger matters to resolve than the fate of one insignificant island.
Well, maybe he is ashamed by it, but it isn't enough to change.
Must you crowd it further?
It isn't enough to change it. But what if we say about your little problem with Tawenu?
This again? Pre-complan, can it?
Oh, look at that. Now we can continue talking about these. I'm gonna deadman this vote. Comrade, how dare you? Just because I'm throwing compliments at you? What if we say 3 now, huh? Now we've got a new set. Feel free to cast your votes again. We've got 2 votes for 3 and 1 vote for 6. Also very good. 3 is just money. We're not rich yet. We've got a lot of upgrades to purchase for a ship and several new ships we need to purchase. Poor Slam Shadows is no longer the richest man in the entire Deerwood. Several votes for 3. Thank you for coming through, Kelly. We're going to see how much would it cost for you to lose the original contract?
Did those words really just escape your lips? in broad daylight?
His eyebrows arch with astonishment. Seraphim thinks it's hilarious.
It would cause me more trouble than a few paltry coins across my desk are worth.
Ah, terrible. Well, what do we do now? Now 5? 5 being, you know, I can always just sit on the office stoop and tell passers-by how the company conducts itself. Which is, in fact, a streetwise role. We've got a lot of information on this guy, that's for sure. I mean, if we were telling people about how poorly the company portrays itself, we've got a lot of evidence for it. And he was ashamed of it, right? That's pretty good. 3 votes for 5. That's moving along. Certainly not enough to be an overmajority right now. Overmajority, what does that mean? It sounded good. Nobody clip it and make me look silly in the future. Don't have high streetwise, it might not work. We want 5 for a party assist, it costs 4, we could be okay. But without any dissenting votes, I'm going to hit number 5. Let's see how it turns out.
I see.
Luca glances away, his gaze wandering anywhere but your direction.
The company would appreciate it if you kept our affairs as discreet as possible.
He clears his throat and passes you a patch of coins.
Now move along. I have larger matters to resolve than the fate of one insignificant island. This room stifles already. Must you crowd it further?
That's a little problem with Tuenu.
This again? Pre-complant, can it?
So now he just gave us money to not talk about it, but that doesn't get the island back. So I'll ask some questions. What is the purpose behind such a contract?
Simple enough. We take on the burden of caring for the tribe in exchange for Luminous Adra rights.
Caring for the tribe? They didn't... What the fuck? They didn't need your help, dude.
Tawenu is myopic if he thinks his tribe can thrive under Aranga in this climate.
Being a tribal chieftain? Anyway, we're talking about the Duape homeland. This isn't right.
This is the homeland they signed away for money, Aaah. I can almost guarantee the company will put it to more dignified use.
And now we've got we've got another choice here. Friends, we have 1, 3, 4, or 5. 2 is something we've already clicked. 1, I'll make sure to witness his reason. 3, keep negotiating like this and he'll drive the Huana into the arms of the Royal Deadfire Company. And 4, I don't have time to solve this politely. What we'd like to do. I should note that 3 is using the diplomacy skills, something that Slam Shadows is pretty good at. So tell me, friends, so you want to say, I'll just make sure to witness his reason? Or do we want to say, I don't have time to solve this politely? Or we could just say 5 and fuck off? Or we solve things with a diplomacy. 4 votes for 3, that is pretty good. They're our common voters for tonight. I'm going to press number 3. Keep negotiating like this and you'll drive the Huana into the arms of the Royal Deadfire Company.
This is... Fuck. True enough.
It required diplomacy 5. We have diplomacy 10. We just passed.
But breaking a contract for diplomacy's sake is simply not done.
Luca worries his brow. So 1, would you prefer to reason with my fist? 2, diplomacy again. The company loses nothing by letting go of an island they never had. And 3, you can't think of a single loophole we could exploit to our mutual benefit? And 4, forget it then. This is a good one because it also gives us a time to be like, what if Slam Shadows wants to make a profit? Maybe that's the type of Slam Shadows we want to play in Pillars 2. Maybe he's been through too much and the death stressed him so much that he changed to be a different person. However, 1, 2, 3, 4 votes for 2. We're going to hit number 2. Let's do it. A loophole to exploit to our mutual benefit? I don't even know if it works. But it does certainly sound skeevy.
I would be remiss to uphold one contract to the detriment of our operation.
No, I'm pretty sure it's like Slam gets money. The company loses nothing, it's a letting go of an island they never had.
Go on then. Some of us have more important duties.
So that was harder than it seemed, and I think that's good. At a lot of states, I want it to be at least slightly challenging. You need to bury that line. I like that dialogue ended. We came to a conclusion, i.e. he paid us off, and then we were just like, but I'm not done. I spoke to him again. That's fun.
Akira,
That's good for your
returned.
players, too.
What say, friend?
Huana touches his brow in greeting. Luca listened to reason. Duape will keep their island.
Akira, I cannot believe. A light after our long sorrow.
His smile broadens, and Tueno slaps your shoulder with encouragement.
My village is modest, but I came prepared. I set aside a few gems for trading. They are yours by right.
Hold on to it. Teaching the Valiant Trading Company a lesson is well worth the effort.
You are a friend of the Duape. We do not forget.
Tueno smiles, rolling his shoulder with the ease of someone who stands suddenly taller. Yeah, exactly. We didn't need
Come
to
closer,
also...
Watcher. We should speak.
Hello, Kelly.
And here I thought Tuenu would hold vigil on the company's stoop until the last shard of Audra was dredged up from the ruins of his village. Sometimes it pays to be wrong.
Someone had to step in and help.
Plenty of folk disagreed with you, it seems. I wonder, what makes you so different?
Dutiful. Aloth tenses his fingers and smiles. Aloth likes it when we feel like we help people who need it. Not just benevolence, but dutiful. Aloth is good underneath it all. You're correct, Corey.
The Valiant Trading Company is so fixated on incremental profits that by the time they make any real headway, Rawatai will own every island in all but name.
She shakes her head and sighs. Rawatai, this powerful naval kingdom of Rawatai is dominated by the coastal Aaah and ruled by Ranganui. Currently the most prosperous of the old empires, Rawatai has expanded aggressively into the Deadfire archipelago to secure natural resources that are scarce in their native storm-torn land. Though folk, dwarves, and orlins can be found in Rawatai, most are merchants or remnants of the old kingdoms Rawatai conquered when they seized power centuries ago. Legends say that the Rautaians came to their lands from the Deadfire archipelago in the wake of a terrible cataclysm, but the details of that event have been lost to time in the imagination of storytellers.
And the Huana are so gullible that their loyalties will be spread across 500,000 contracts, and nothing but black powder will remind them who truly owns Deadfire.
Huana, a tribal civilization primarily comprised of island Aaah, which has thrived in the Deadfire archipelago for thousands of years. Though largely decentralized, the Huana share common values steeped in mythology and a sense of guardianship over the isles they call home.
Stop by the Royal Deadfire District sometime. Rawatai needs men and women of action to represent our interests, and I can see a promising career for someone like you.
Why did I make sure to read out the,
One of the Rathun?
the definitions of those nations
Sounds like sailor tales to me.
and like particular city-states and whatnot? Because it's important to understand that who they are and that they stand in opposition and they're not the same. Zilli Valera? The young man appears to be either composing or practicing a tune on his lute. He stops mid-strum, looking up at you with a friendly expression.
Apologies, Lord, if I intrude upon your peace. Inspiration eludes me still.
And we will finish after this dialogue.
If you are after some scenery, I suggest the far end of the bridge. It smells better when the wind blows in from the sea, of course.
Let's deal with this later. Nothing for now. We will speak to that person next week on Monday night in 7 days. But right now we need to finish up, because that's following up a quest. Let's all do it right away, you know? Seems to be mean. Yeah. Good night, Corey, my friend. Thank you very much for joining us. It has been good fun. Really nice to have everyone nearby for a good play through Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Now, you'll notice we did not get past the first map in what I believe is a 5-map city. There's a lot of stuff going on, so we're going to have a good more time. It is very lovely to see all of you. Thanks again to Kelly, who donated a bunch of subs. It makes me really happy to see that sort of generosity and looking out for each other. And I really appreciate the boat names. We will go through them again at some point, especially when we get another ship. But in the meantime, I'm going to wish you a very good night, and I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you not this Wednesday. We are taking a Wednesday night off so I can go see a movie, and I will see you again next Monday. In the meantime, tell people you love that you love them. Don't let them forget for even a moment. And I'll see you again.